Canucks, Roberto Luongo, Detroit Red Wings, and Dominic Hasek. And for the Ottawa Senators, Martin Brodeur for the New Jersey Devils and Ryan Miller for the Buffalo Sabres. But they maybe have that common theme there in the playoffs, but certainly the styles are different. J.S. Giguère, more of a shot blocker, relies on position. He lets the puck hit him. And for Ray Emery, he has a tremendous athletic ability. He has an aggressive style, but plays in control. Certainly, when you look at the numbers, Doc, the experience goes in favor of J.S. Giguère. He was the MVP of the 2003 playoffs, so certainly that check mark goes in Giguère's corner. But you look at their games, #1 when starting a series. So again, the experience is so important. The one thing that they do also have in common is the way they handle the puck. Both very average when it comes to the high echelon of goaltenders handling the puck.
Interesting, but sparkling goaltending means you win a cup, you get a ring, just like Bill Clement has 2 of, thanks to Bernard Marcel Perron back in the 70s.
Oh, Doc, and I know without Bernie, no rings, all right? Because I wasn't getting my job done most of the time. Bernie was taking care of that. All right, Mark, the guys talked about the disparity in the experience level of Giguère and Emery. What do you make of that?
Well, if I had a choice, obviously I'd take the guy with experience. I think it's comforting as a player to know that your goaltender's not only played in the playoffs, but they've been able to withstand the rigors of 2 months of playoff hockey, not only mentally, but physically, and of course, taking you to winning the Stanley Cup. But as we saw last year, Cam Ward never played in the playoff series, never in the playoff game, and took the Carolina Hurricanes to the Stanley Cup there, so what do we know?
Well, we do know this, that the teams have game plans for their opponents' goaltenders. Jonesy, what do you think Anaheim's got planned for Ray Emery?
Well, I don't think Anaheim will change anything as far as the approach that they've taken all season long and into the playoffs. Battle hard in front of that, get to the high traffic areas, and get in Ray Emery's face. The Ottawa Senators and Ray Emery had a relatively easy ride to the Stanley Cup Finals as far as physical play in front of Emery. Watch for the Anaheim Ducks to be in there, battle him, and we'll see how Ray Emery handles that mentally.
Do you think Ray Emery can get the job done for Ottawa?
I think that I would rather have Giguère than net.
Well, Ottawa undoubtedly will have something planned for Jiggy as well, Brian.
Yeah, I think what they're going to try to do is move Giguère side to side. Giguère is a conservation of motion kind of goaltender. He looks huge in the net. He comes out and challenges, and all you see is tiny little spots over his shoulders, nothing else. You have to get him moving side to side. Look for Ottawa to be taking shots from the face-off circle, passes right across to the other face-off circle, 40-foot passes, try to make him move as much as possible. Because if he's there, he's a stone wall, and he doesn't give up any rebounds.
And we know that J.S. Giguère has a ton of playoff experience. As a matter of fact, he's won the Conn Smythe Trophy, which goes to the playoff MVP. And Ottawa captain Daniel Alfredsson has put together a postseason truly worthy of at least MVP consideration. He's got 17 points in only 15 games. He has been spectacular defensively, and he has led this Ottawa Senators franchise to the Stanley Cup Final for the first time ever. Earlier today, Alfredsson spoke with our Bob Harwood.
Daniel, what are you most proud of so far in terms of how this team has gotten to where you are?
Consistency, no question. I think the way we've came out and played every game here in the playoffs has been the biggest thing for us.
You guys did not get off to the kind of start that you were expected to early this season. How active were you, Daniel, in righting the ship and in getting things back on track?
I mean, it's hard to to praise yourself too much, but I think, you know, I guess I had a little part in it. But the biggest thing was the coaching staff. I think they really stayed calm and collective during the tough times. They knew they were within a game or two of big changes being made from, you know, trades or coaching changes, and they righted the ship, and, you know, we kind of followed after them.
Daniel, you were always good about dealing with responsibilities, including personal responsibility for the early exit last year in the playoffs and in the years before that as well. Do you have a sense of relief as the person involved in this, of getting a chance to come this deep finally in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think every time you fail in anything, you're really, I take it really hard personally anyway, and, you know, I always look at myself, what could I have done differently? And I felt last year I didn't score enough goals to help the team win. And I didn't play as well as I could, and that was very frustrating for me personally. But this year, the biggest thing for me is I'm very happy because, you know, I feel like I'm playing at my best when it matters the most, and there's no better feeling for an athlete.
There aren't many people not cheering for Daniel Alfredsson, a solid citizen in the NHL. Stanley Cup Final experience on defense. It is all Anaheim, especially Scott Niedermayer with his 3 Stanley Cups. When we come back, we'll talk D-man.
When I took the job, I had every ambition that one day I would rule the world. I had no idea that first I'd have to circle it about 10 times. Making the sale makes me jump out of bed in the morning. I just have to remember where I am that day. I work because I'm driven. I work to close the deal.
Whether it's a job or a career, when it's right, it's a passion. Go to Monster.com today and find the job that works for you.
Monster works for me.
Got a lot of projects?
Yeah.
We've got what you need. Come on.
We're here because we've been there with the tools, products, and advice to get it done right. True Value. Start right. Start here.
The quest for the Cup concludes in Anaheim. For the second time this decade, the Ducks return to the Stanley Cup Final. Now comes their toughest test as they push themselves beyond endurance. Led by the Niedermeyer brothers and Teemu Selanne, this team is on the verge of claiming the greatest prize in sports, and with it, immortality. Follow the Ducks' quest on NBC and Versus and log on to NHL.com for complete coverage of the Stanley Cup Final.
Before the gremlins get you, get Progressive. #1 in motorcycle insurance.
The Tour de France begins July 7th on Versus. Let the real drama begin.
Everybody has a plan until you get hit. When some guy knees you in the face, you're not thinking about what your trainer told you. You're not thinking at all. All those hours you spent in the gym don't prepare you to fight. They prepare you to fight back.
And welcome back to Game 1 from the home of the Western Conference champion Anaheim Ducks. The Stanley Cup Final on Versus, coming to you from Honda Center, Southern California. We're delighted that you've joined us for our pregame coverage. I'm going to talk defensemen now. You need those guys, too, to win a Stanley Cup. And, Jonesy, the marquee names undoubtedly reside in Anaheim's locker room, especially the Norris Trophy guys. And candidates again this year, Chris Pronger, Scott Niedermeyer.
Yeah, there's stars in this National Hockey League. Every team has stars, but not every team has superstars. The Anaheim Ducks have 2 of them on their blue line. Scott Niedermeyer scored huge goals in this playoffs already. 2 of them coming in overtime. 1 of them coming in with 47 seconds left against the Detroit Red Wings. A huge factor defensively because of his great skating ability. Pronger, he's hits, he's physical. At times he can be dirty. I kind of like that. I like the fact that he stands up there and plays hard, but the biggest thing he does is get his shot through from the point. He's productive offensively. He's tremendously efficient defensively. Look at the ice time there for both players, and the shots on goal by Pronger, 3.5 per game. That leads all defensemen throughout the playoffs. Efficient, that's why they can play over 30 minutes a night. Great defensively, and they both have a tremendous amount of offensive flair. A great gift and a huge advantage for the Anaheim Ducks.
So you like a bit of that dirt, a bit of that edge.
Oh, yeah.
Did you like it? Did you like it when you had to play against him?
I can tell you, when you went to hit him, you were eating some stick after you left because he's so tall. You got to be careful when you go in to run him.
Been there, done that, got the T-shirt.
Too many times.
The Ottawa Senators really can't match the marquee names that Anaheim has, but I think it would be foolish to underestimate that group of 6 as a unit that the Senators have, Brian.
Anton Volchenkov and Chris Phillips are the 2 guys that have really anchored them. They were up against Sidney Crosby's line in the first round. They're up against Gomez's line in the second, and Briere and Drury in the third. They both hit like Mack trucks, and they're really good inside their blue line. Their game is all inside their own end. Volchenkov's only got 4 points. Chris Phillips has no points yet in the playoffs, but you'd have to give them about 60 points for what they've done in their own zone. Both of them are like moving defensemen out there. In fact, Volchenkov is #1 in the playoffs with 61 block shots. Keep your eye on that number 24 because he'll be in front of his goaltender moving all over the place, and so will number 4, Chris Phillips. when you have two guys like that who have such great instincts defensively to get into shooting lanes and even sometimes, in fact, look like goaltenders, making hand saves, glove saves, foot saves, that is helping Emery so much that Emery has not had to be a spectacular goaltender. He's got two half goaltenders in front of him.
So, Mark, Ottawa's got the balance. Anaheim's got the marquee names. Is it not an advantage for Anaheim, at least going into this series, to have the marquee names?
Oh, there's no question about it. When you got a guy like Pronger and Niedermayer on your defense there, you can't help but be an advantage. Both Norris Trophy winners, both have won our Niedermayer Stanley Cups there. Another one for no coincidence that Pronger's back in the Stanley Cup Finals again there. So, to me, I think it's a tremendous advantage. But another guy we're forgetting about on Ottawa's side here is Wade Redden. Don't forget about the impact that he's going to have on this series. He's a tremendous hockey player on his own right, and he's going to have a big impact in this series as well.
All right, marquee names on the blue line for Anaheim, and some young players up front that are quickly becoming marquee names in the playoffs, including Ryan Getzlaf, who plays on the kid line with Corey Perry and Dustin Penner. They will be counted on heavily here in Game 1.
On long road trips, hard-working sportscasters like us love Motel 6. We save big and we get much-needed R&R. Sure do, Bob. You know, it's nice to get off the air, relax, and just be ourselves.
You swimming in that?
Yeah, I'm feeling it, Bob.
We'll leave the light on for you.
Traffic ahead.
Incredible. You found a golf course near the conference. Awesome Chinese. Now you find me a way around traffic. I love you.
Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit lonely and you're never coming around. Take Market Street exit.
You're right. We'll just keep it professional, you know?
Go everywhere, find everything. Fall hard for the new Wear 2 GPS at Avis.
Switch to Valvoline's Max Life, and there's no telling how long your car will keep going. Max Life not only protects against friction, but also leaks, deposits, and sludge, the 4 major causes of high-mileage engine breakdown. Long live your car.
Blockbuster Total Access presents a brief history of online movie rental. Once there was only Netflix. You ordered online, received and returned by mail, and waited for new movies. Now there's Blockbuster Total Access. You can order online, return by mail, even exchange for new ones at the store. No extra charge.
And no waiting for new movies.
No wonder thousands join Blockbuster Total Access every week.
We did. And everything else is history.
Movies through the mail, plus movies through the store. One low price. That's Blockbuster Total Access. Get a free trial at your Blockbuster store or Blockbuster.com.
It doesn't matter how fast you are. Or how hard you've trained. Or how hard you hit me. Because I fought you in my head 100 times before. And I win every time.
Hockey Central on Versus is presented by Esurance. Make it your goal to save on auto insurance. Visit esurance.com today.
Hockey in sunny California, you bet. Palm trees have surrounded the home of the Ducks since 1993. Welcome back, everybody. Anaheim's Teemu Selanne is trying to become the 6th player since Ray Bourque in 2001 to win his first Stanley Cup after playing more than 1,000 NHL games. Earlier today, he sat down with our Christine Simpson.
Teemu, you've played over 1,000 games in your 15 years in the NHL. Now that you're just moments away from your very first Stanley Cup final game, what kind of emotions are you feeling? Are you nervous? Are you excited?
Obviously, maybe a little bit both. You know, obviously you're more excited about this chance, what we have here. Obviously, 15 years, like you said, it's a long time, and some guys, they don't get the chance till late of their career. But as long as you get the chance, that's only what matters, and hopefully this is going to be the one.
What does it mean for you, though, coming at this stage in your career, both professionally and personally?
right now, when you get this chance, you have to enjoy it. You really have to enjoy it. And we have a great group of guys in our locker room, and we are all like brothers, and this is dream what we have together. So that's what really makes it special.
Well, you have seen all the names engraved on the Stanley Cup. What would it mean to you to have your name engraved on the cup as well?
You know, I think that will be the biggest compliment as a hockey player what you can have, and that has been my dream for a long, long time, and it would be an unbelievable feeling, and feel that that would be a crown for me as a hockey player. So that's my dream.
You know, I said earlier, it's tough not to cheer for Daniel Alfredsson of the Senators, tough not to cheer for Teemu Selanne. They are the two sentimental favorites for their respective teams in this series. But Anaheim has younger guys as well, Jonesy, besides Teemu Selanne, that are capable of dominating games.
Yeah, Ryan Getzlaf and Corey Perry, very vitally important to this Anaheim Duck offense. Getzlaf leads all Anaheim forwards in ice time. This is his second year in the National Hockey League. A gifted forward, quick wrist shot, tough in front of the net. He'll go to the high traffic areas, and he will hit you when he gets the opportunity. Corey Perry, an extremely gifted goal scorer. Get him open, get him in the loose, and he will bury pucks. He's a gifted guy who came up huge against the Red Wings, especially over the last 3 games, picking up 2 big goals.
Jonesy, you know what? I think they're the #1 line right now. You can talk about McDonald and Selanne for good reason, but I really think that Ryan Getzlaf's line, what they've done in the playoff, because of their physical size, which makes them different from McDonald and Selanne, I think that Ottawa has a bigger job against Getzlaf line than they do against McDonald line.
Okay, boys, here we go. Who do you like?
Do I have to start?
No, Brian can start. Brian can start.
Ottawa. I'm with Ottawa. I've been on them for the last couple of months. I think they've played some outstanding hockey. They have been the most consistent team throughout the playoff. Ottawa's going to win it.
Jonesy.
Anaheim will knock Ottawa down and will win the series and win the Stanley Cup.
I got Anaheim in 6. Now there's nobody left but you, Mark.
I learned a long time ago not to make predictions in the opposing ring, but I have to say I think Ottawa in 6 games.
There you go.
So we're tied at 2. We need a 5th for a tiebreaker, but we don't have one. Listen, when NHL players begin the season, they understand that it truly is a marathon. The race cannot be won in November. It cannot even be won in March. It is a novel of epic length. The final chapter in the quest for the Stanley Cup begins when we return to Honda Center.
Tonight, do the mojito with the refreshingly cool taste of the Bacardi Mojito.
We knew the 2007 Motor Trend Truck of the Year would be a tough act to follow. So we took the lead instead. Introducing the most powerful heavy duty on the planet, the all-new Silverado HD. This is our country.
Do you really need that 100,000 BTU grill? Or that 7.1 channel home theater system? Do you really need a motor oil that protects for 15,000 miles?
You bet.
Mobil 1 Extended Performance. Its proven anti-wear technology is guaranteed to protect your engine for 15,000 miles, 5 times longer than traditional oil change intervals. Mobil 1 Extended Performance.
But I ain't interested in getting like mangled and embarrassed.
So what we'll be calling on is blunt force trauma. Let's start building some hurting bombs.
The greatest underdog story of our time is back for one final round.
Enter the Rocky Balboa sweepstakes for a chance to win Rocky DVDs. Visit dishnetwork.com/PPV for details.
When does 1 + 1 = 50? Every time you introduce a friend to Dish Network through Club Dish, you get $50 off your bill. And they get their $50 activation free. It's that simple. The more people you turn on to Dish Network, the more you save. Up to $250 a year. It adds up with Club Dish. Join the club today.
The Stanley Cup, nearly 115 years old. You win it, your name goes on it. One letter at a time. No quick way. To raise it, you need to win a game at a time. 4 collision-filled rounds until you have 16 victories. For 80 years, the National Hockey League has handed it out. Which hands this time? From a field of 30 to 16, and now the last 2. The Ottawa Senators and the Anaheim Ducks for the Stanley Cup on Versus. Day in May in Southern California. 2 sets of fans, Senators as well as Ducks fans. On the center, the scene as Versus is thrilled to bring you Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. The Ottawa Senators and the Anaheim Ducks. Good afternoon or good evening wherever you might be, everyone. Along with Eddie Olczyk, I'm Mike Emmerich. Thrilling atmosphere here. What do you expect?
Well, I expect exciting, energized hockey. The brand of hockey the National Hockey League has been talking about. You have highly skilled forwards who can create offense. You have a hard-hitting teams who like to do it night in, night out. You have defensemen who can create offense from the blue line. That adds up to a lot of offensive chances. Now, whether or not they score or not is up to the goaltenders, J.S. Giguère and Ray Emery.
Well, speaking of offense, the top 3 scoring forwards in the entire playoff all play for the same team and on the same line. That's not fair.
It is not, Doc, but maybe Anaheim thinks that way, but Ottawa loves it. Danny Heatley, Jason Spezza, Daniel Alfredsson. When you have success on the line, you need a lot of different looks. Danny Heatley, the pure goal scorer, back-to-back 50-goal seasons. Jason Spezza, the setup man, the centerman that sets up his wingers. And I really think the glue to the line is Daniel Alfredsson. 4 game-winning goals all around. He does it all, especially defensively. Brian Murray, head coach of the Ottawa Senators, talks about his stability. When he's on the ice, good things happen.
Well, pick another Senator that we should watch.
How about a difference maker? Anton Volchenkov. He led the National Hockey League in shot blocks. He's doing it in the playoffs as well. It's a little thing, but it adds up to big things.
Anaheim's an ornery team. They come out and pound and they hit pretty hard. But they've got youth and experience. A 22-year-old named Ryan Getzlaf and a 36-year-old getting in the finals for the first time, Teemu Selanne.
Older guy, younger guy. Let's start with the older guy. Show some respect to the elder statesman, Teemu Selanne. I asked Teemu about what he expects come tonight after playing 1,041 regular season games before getting the Stanley Cup Finals. He said he wasn't sure, but he's a streaky goal scorer. He's a streaky player. He's on a nice 3-point streak with 6 points in those 3 games. And Ryan Getzlaf, he's a total package. 3 game-winning goals. He has size, he has strength, but he has great patience with the puck. And when he plays his best hockey, Randy Carlisle, the head coach of the Ducks, told me, is when he plays physical and he finishes all his checks.
Anything else we should watch for from the Ducks?
Well, how about 2 of the top 3 defensemen in the National Hockey League, and Scott Niedermayer and Chris Pronger?
Well, they are big men who play this game, particularly on defense. Chris Pronger, 6'6", leads his team in points, and Chris Phillips, 6'3", has none, but they're counted on heavily. We'll hear from them in just a moment.
My passion is film. If you love film, I must tell you about Toshiba's HD DVD player. To me, it's the ultimate movie experience. Toshiba's HD DVD player not only plays my HD DVDs in high def, it even makes my standard DVD collection look better. Toshiba's HD DVD player. DVD, now in high definition. It's what everyone's been waiting for.
Buy a Toshiba HD DVD player, $299.99 after a $100 instant rebate, model HDA2.
It only weighs 35 pounds, but takes 20 men to lift it. The Stanley Cup Final exclusively on Versus, Wednesday, 7:30 Eastern.
Premiering Sunday, Southern Afghanistan. A small special forces team patrols a remote area the size of Rhode Island. A
National Geographic film crew embedded with them on a mission that went terribly wrong. Inside the Green Berets premieres Sunday at 9 on Channel 186, the National Geographic Channel.
Ooh, this smells good.
That feels good.
Surprise your someone special with something sensual from AdamEve.com. Like heavenly massage oil, tantalizing lingerie, or maybe something more adventurous. Right now, you'll save 50% on any item of your choice when you enter the offer code SEXY at checkout. So go to AdamEve.com. You sexy devil, you. And get ready for a night to remember.
Everybody has a plan until you get hit. When some guy knees you in the face, you're not thinking about what your trainer told you. You're not thinking at all. All those hours you spent in the gym don't prepare you to fight. They prepare you to fight back.
Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final on Versus is brought to you in HD by Toshiba HD DVD, the ultimate movie machine from Toshiba.
Here again at Honda Center, pleased to have Barb Harwood and Chris Simpson with us. Bob is with the Senators' Chris Phillips.
Doc, thank you very much. Chris, as a team, you've had 9 days to think about this. You've put in 9 years in an Ottawa uniform. What are the emotions like right now, just minutes from puck drop for you personally?
Well, there's a lot of excitement right now, getting out there for warm-up and finally putting on a game jersey and doing what we do best and feel more comfortable, certainly out on the ice. But once we go back out there for the face-off, you know, I expect a lot of butterflies, and I think that's a good feeling. That nervous energy and just you know, use that. As a benefit when you get out there playing.
This is a team full of leaders. Has anybody caught your eye, or maybe it's come from you, in terms of an inspiring message of all being on the same page at this point? Who stood out in there?
Well, we got lots of leaders in there, and you know, certainly Alfie is the first guy to come to mind, and you know, not by you know, inspiring things that he said, but I think the inspiring things that he's done on the ice, playing with a lot of passion and desire to lead this team to victory, and he's done a heck of a job for us so far.
Chris, enjoy it. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Two high-flying teams. You can expect the goaltenders to be extremely busy.
I'm J.S. Shiger from the Anaheim Ducks.
I'm Ray Emery at the Ottawa Senators.
You're watching the Stanley Cup Final
on Versus Do or Die.
Feeling real good about lunch today. This new KFC biscuit bowl's got all my favorites. It's got chicken.
I got a burger.
Mashed potatoes.
Fries.
Got corn and gravy, cheese, and now it comes with a biscuit.
Well, I got a bun. It's kind of like a biscuit.
It's not even a little bit.
Biscuit-esque.
No, it's not.
Introducing the new Chicken and Biscuit Bowl from KFC. Layers of mashed potatoes, sweet corn, all white meat chicken, new home-style white gravy, and a 3-cheese blend. And now it comes with a buttermilk biscuit. Dig into great layers of flavor with new KFC famous bowls.
Family fun on the water has never been more affordable than during Yamaha Fun Fest at your Wave Runner dealer. Get 0 down and low payments on all Wave Runners. And with your reliable, fuel-efficient Yamaha Wave Runner, you'll save big on fuel costs over comparable models. Plus, ride worry-free with great warranty deals. Get 0 down and low payments on all Wave Runners during Yamaha Fun Fest at your Wave Runner dealer today. To learn more about Yamaha Wave Runners or for the dealer nearest you, visit yamaha-motor.com.
That hurt? Nah. You're all right. We'll put a little ice on it. It's no big deal.
You wouldn't make it in the NHL. But you can get inside with VCast. Watch highlights, interviews, and everything hockey. Exclusively from Verizon Wireless.
Okay, let's see what we've got here. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
That's it. Yeah, that feels good.
Right in there?
Ah.
You hyperextended your adductor longus. Your vastus medialis could use a bit of stretching, too.
You train as the saviors, man.
Trainer? Oh, I'm not a trainer. But I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. How's that?
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
It's Aaron Insurance versus the competition. Will she prevail?
Overpriced auto insurance. Don't try to stick it to me.
Don't worry, Aaron. You've got Esurance.
At Esurance, you save time when you buy auto insurance online. Without interference, auto insurance hassles, I'll take a pass. Quote, buy, print.
Make it your goal to save time and money on auto insurance. Visit esurance.com today.
Time to go down to the bench. Chris Simpson and Ducks alternate captain Chris Pronger.
Thanks very much, Mike. Chris, hockey may have its roots in Canada, but what does it say to you to hear the reception you guys are getting from this sold-out Southern California crowd?
Fans have been great all year. They've really gotten a hold of the buzz of hockey down here, that's for sure, and they've been a big part of us winning.
Well, some players spend their entire careers just trying to get to the Stanley Cup final once. What's it like for you to be back here for the second year in a row?
Well, some unfinished business, obviously. You got to win one.
Chris, thanks, and good luck to you. Mike?
Significant day, Memorial Day. Since 1946, the anthems of the countries have been heard. Kelsey Scott sings "O Canada."
As we join Kelsey Scott from Laguna Niguel with the singing of the Canadian National Anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Kelsey. And now please remain standing and turn your attention to the Zamboni corner for the presentation of our nation's colors by the United States Marine Corps Honor Guard from Anaheim. In observance of Memorial Day, we will now honor the men and women who have served their country, protecting our freedom and our way of life, with a moment of silence. Thank you. And now, as we honor America and our armed forces around the world, please welcome two-time Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee, legendary recording artist Stephen Stills, with the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Steven Stills. A goalie known as the Dominator was here on Tuesday. Tonight, a governor known as the Terminator. Arnold Schwarzenegger, governor of California, to drop the first puck.
He's here playing hurt. Recovering from a broken femur. Looks like he'd be a left winger to me.
Oh, he'd beat in the forecheck, that's for sure. I'd be sending him in.
Well, you know, Brian Burke, general manager, would certainly sign him up for the Ducks, that's for sure.
One of these two gentlemen to take the ceremonial face-off will lift the Stanley Cup when his team has won 4.
Drop it. Go ahead, drop it. Drop it.
It has been done. We hope this is and has been a wonderful holiday for all of you watching. The first Memorial Day observance over 150 years ago after the war between the states. Today, a special day to honor those who have died in battle, and for us here in 2007, prayers and thoughts for those who are serving here or elsewhere in the world, for the United States or for our friends in Canada. You will be interested to know that the starting lineup will include the big guns for Ottawa, the missiles, Alfredson and Spezza and Heatley, and the anti-missile missiles, Paulson and Moen and Rob Niedermeyer for Anaheim. Well, okay. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final is available in HD, brought to you by Toshiba HD DVD. Ray Emery, 24, first game in a final series, 26th straight playoff start. And the MVP of the 2003 final, J.S. Giguère, just turned 30, 13th straight playoff start for him. The game puck delivered on time by Luggage Express, the official luggage delivery service of the NHL. To deliver your luggage on time, visit 866shipbags.com.
9 days off for the Ottawa Senators. I asked Brian Murray, head coach of the Sens, 2 concerns. 1, penalties and shift length. For the Anaheim Ducks, talked to head coach Randy Carlyle. 5 days off. Cycle and grind. Play below the tops of the circle for the Ducks. Take a look at Brian Murray for the Sens.
He and Randy Carlyle are coaching in their first Stanley Cup final game. Brian Murray has been involved as a general manager before, when he general managed these Ducks in 2003, and Brian Burke, the current GM, gives him a lot of credit for putting together a team that he will have to coach against in this series. So the first toss in is by Spezza. The retrieval by Heatley is jabbed along and bounced to Wade Redden for a shot that went wide. Andre Mazzaro's flipped. It's cut off and steered back in by big Travis Moen. And back to get it is Redden, and his shoulder put in by Rob Niedermeyer, in a feed that Spezza is able to tap along to Daniel Alfredson and then ahead. Swaggering free was Heatley. Following up is Redden, and it's thrown out in front but hooked away to the half court. As last year with Edmonton and Carolina, these teams did not play in the regular season against one another at all. It's been 16 months since they met, and that was a shootout regular season win for the Ducks in Ottawa. Flipped up off the high glass and steered ahead to Teemu Selanne, who brings it on. And we get a halt to play and a stoppage of play and a penalty coming up.
That's going to be on Scott Niedermeyer. Referee Paul Dvorsky with the call to the captain of the Ducks. The one thing we talked about in the open is both these teams love to hit and hit hard. They finish all their checks. And Scott Niedermeyer coming up the right wing boards. Gets hit by Chris Neal, and then the stick across the side of the head of the Ottawa Senator forward. So again, a finish check, a retaliatory play by Scott Niedermeyer. The stick to the head. Power play early here for the Sens.
Brought to you by Variety Big Box from KFC. Last round, not a confidence builder for the penalty killers for the Ducks. 9 given up in 40 opportunities, barely. 75% on a kill rate, which is not good. But in the first 2 rounds, they were excellent. 4 for 26 in the last round against Buffalo for the Senators as Tom Preissing, the one-time San Jose Shark, brings it ahead and drops it off. Fisher carried on to Mike Comrie out of the University of Michigan. Around behind now for Peter Schaefer, knocked loose by Sean O'Donnell. Scrap for, and then it's Comrie on back to Mazzaros across to Fisher, and a shot went off the glove of Giguère and popped in. It's a goal, a power play goal.
Oh, what a heads-up play by Mike Comrie. Mike Comrie found the puck to the left of J.S. Giguère, and he finds the wide-open ice, the space. And then a quick play by Mazzaros to Fisher, and then Comrie from back behind. Watch the right part of your screen. There's Comrie. I don't know if that puck ended up going in all alone, but Sean O'Donnell's almost pointing at Mike Comrie. Oh, that puck went right in, up, almost like tape delayed. It just was up there for such a long period of time. I don't know if Comrie got a stick on it, but the shot by Mazzaros went up and over J.S. Giguère, and an early goal on the power play for the Sens.
Play underway. No review necessary. It was done hurriedly and effectively, and so play is right back in, and a little bit of a shocker at the start. A quick penalty call against the Ducks and a quick goal on the power play against them as Scott Niedermayer cross-bodied and rammed then by Daniel Alfredsson. This is a Senators team that has been splendid in first periods of games won and setting the tone through all three of their prior series. They have led at the end of the first period, including a 4-1 lead in game one against New Jersey, 2-1 against Buffalo, 2-0 in their very first series against Pittsburgh. But it is rifled on back by Spezza, sent across for Joe Corvo, and that one blocked away by Giguère. Corvo holds this one again and fires, and tripping on that one was Giguère as it cracked off the glass, but it's played ahead by Scott Niedermayer. Oh, it was he upended, and there'll be a penalty coming from this. The teams will trade power plays.
We talked about the physicality. It's pretty obvious what the Anaheim Ducks are going to take a look at. The hits, Spezza, then Alfredsson on Scott Niedermayer. And as the puck is moving up the boards, Jason Spezza and then Danny Healy kind of sticks out his leg and upends Scott Niedermayer. Early and often for the Ottawa Senators. The Ducks haven't had a chance to really, since the first shift of the game where Niedermayer took a run and Wade Redden in behind, it's been all Ottawa on the physicality aspect of it.
Power play has been a strength of the Ducks. But against Detroit, only 4 for 30. They wanted better, and they got it as the series went on. Laid in by Ryan Getzlaf near Marchand. He's able to intercept the toss along that came from Chris Kelly. Solani to the back now for a play to be made by Pronger to Getzlaf. Getzlaf right back to Pronger again. Shooting one, and it ricocheted off the man tumbling in front. That's Francois Beauchemin of the Ducks. And going back for it is Pronger. Caught there by Antoine Vermette, who got in the way of that, but it is eventually going to be brought back out by Getzlaf again. Lob back in and back to play it as Volchenkov cross-bodied there by Dustin Penner at 243 pounds. It is Dean McCammon flipping and Pronger keeping. Hands on to Solani, a 48-goal scorer this past year. Solani flipped one that came right near the net, was batted down by Penner, but whipped all the way back down by the Senators.
You see how low Daniel Alfredsson is there, Doc? I mean, a forward coming all the way down, recognizing that the Ducks were in a tough spot. Alfredsson left his coverage up high, went down low, was able to clear it all the way down.
34 years of age is Daniel Alfredsson. This one laid back along and out. A lot of experience in that young man that's captain of this team. No Scandinavian-born captains have lifted the cup as captains of NHL championship teams. He would be the first as Redden sees this going back across on his path from Mazzaros, flipped it ahead, and buried at center ice by Peter Schaefer was Scott Niedermayer. There's no respect here. Brought ahead for the toss across that is carried in by Marchand and dropped on back from McDonald off Marchand, sticking wide. To the last 5 of the power play. Held there for a drive by Jackman that ricocheted off Phillips and went wide. Marchand turns there, but it's lost on out to Vermette. Brings it out with Chris Kelly. Kelly spun one across. No shots on that power play for the Ducks.
Best chance was a shot by Pronger that never got to Ray Emery.
follow-through comes from Scott Niedermayer. So the shots on goal are 3-1. Shots attempted are far more significant. And the one that you think the Ducks would have wanted to set up was the one they did that came from Pronger. Just didn't find its way through. Oshman inadvertently in the way of that as this is sent back in for Pronger. Run into by Schubert. Played back along again by Dean McCammon. Popped on to Pronger. Quickly across to Travis Moen and out. 5 1/4 to go first period. How long does it take Butterflies to leave a player when he's playing in his first game in the Stanley Cup?
Depends if you have your first shift quick enough or not. Some guys don't get an opportunity to get out right away as Patrick Eaves and Chris Pronger get together. And just getting that first shift, we talk about the long time in between for both teams. For the Ducks, 5 days. The Senators, 9. So just getting that first shift, and then after that, Doc, you kind of let it go. And both coaches have tried to prepare their teams the best as they can for the inactivity. You can practice all you want. There's a little shot by Chris Pronger, the right arm to the chin of Patrick Eaves. But I think you can practice all you want, work on your specialty teams. But again, there's nothing like being in a game situation, especially for your goaltenders. You can see shots and you have time to be able to react. But again, it's a game-like atmosphere and everything that goes with it. And of course, then you think about the things that go on between your ears.
But not too much, maybe. Oh, right on goal, and that turned aside by Giguère. Centering pass is blocked and held by Giguère.
I think Alfredson actually knocked that puck out of the air and got it all the way. It's almost like a swinging bunt in baseball. He just kind of shot it from the right wing boards and went on, and it seemed like it dipped and dived right past J.S. Giguère.
The official scoring of the goal, Comrie from Fisher and Nazaros at 1:38. So the power play goal belongs to Mike Comrie, a center until he came to the Senators later on in this season. Ryan Murray said right wing is my flexible position. We're going to try him on right wing, and he really wasn't happy with the performance the first few games when he's just learning the position. A shot that went wide by Alfredson. He has the first goal of the Stanley Cup final as this is brought ahead by Travis Moen. But offside is called as Sammy Paulson was across the line early. He probably knew what it took us a while to find out. He was the official goal scorer of the very first one.
You packed your own shoots for the first time, and that's a big deal. As a surprise, I stocked the fridge in the hangar with Bud Light.
Hey, where's the Bud Light?
So let's pull 'em!
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Hi, Enterprise. I'm at the repair shop, and I need to rent a car.
At Enterprise, we'll arrange to pick you up free and get you on your way.
Nice save, Mom.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Hi, Mom.
Now is the best time to join AT&T's family tree and become a member of the nation's largest unlimited wireless calling community. Because now you get unlimited talk and unlimited text.
Now get half off all Samsung phones. Singular's name is now AT&T.
The Philips Norelco Smart Touch XL adjusts to your face for a closer shave with 50% more shaving surface and 3 shaving rings in each shaving head. Philips Norelco, the world's best-selling electric shaver. Simplicity is making every stroke count.
Senators are up by 1 here in game 1. Well, when these two guys aren't watching hockey, I know that they're playing hockey. Producer Jerry Bruckheimer and Oscar-winning actor Cuba Gooding Jr. First of all, Jerry, they beat your hometown Red Wings to get this far. Handicap this series for me.
Well, you know, I got to tell you, they're both great teams. They beat really tough teams to get here. And this is going to be a really exciting series. I am so excited already just to be here and watching this.
Well, Cuba, the Ducks are down by 1. What do they have to do to get back in this one?
Well, you know, they play a physical game, so they just got to start checking. You know, it seems like they're losing the little battles, and as soon as they get on that, they'll be all right. They're a good, strong team now.
Coach Goodings, thanks for this. Guys, back to you.
Coach is right. Pretty good analysis there. You know, he was in a picture with Jack Nicholson. He should have talked Jack into this sport. Jack seems preoccupied with the other one.
Well, first of all, he'd be right up against the glass somewhere, right? Is that right or not?
Yeah.
A real good start for the Ottawa Senators, cashing in on the first power play and really owning the physicality part of the game to this point.
From small battles come bigger ones, especially as the game moves on. We would have expected a little quieter first period, I suppose, assuming they hadn't seen each other all year. And even though you watch all the tape in the world, playing the game is another thing, especially when you are collided with. Daniel Alfredson annoyed at the puck drop. Meanwhile, this is dug out and taken along now by Sammy Paulson, the leading hitter in the playoffs this year at 57 of them. 16 more than the most prominent hitter for Ottawa, and the leader in the regular season, Chris Neal, 25, who's not out there right now. But this is brought ahead now. Nice work to shake loose by Heatley, but a good retrieval and thrown back out by Bolsheman. Right back up the wing they come, and Moen a shot that is blocked off by Anton Volchenkov. No one in the playoffs or regular season has done more of that than that guy. Brought back ahead by Heatley, spun back across for Alfredson. Alfredson, a shot deflected and it hopped wide and popped to the corner. Everyone looking for it for a moment, but oh, what a hit on Joe Corvo.
And so is J.S. Jaguar, Doc. He had no idea, and Jason Spezza gave him a little shot because he didn't know where the puck is well. And the puck was to the right of the Duck goaltender.
Mike Comrie starts it on ahead. That one is cut right off and started back the other way. Good control by Getzlaf, trying to get by the defense. No sale because of Chris Phillips, who shoved him down.
Oh, what a way to play a one-on-one. Don't worry about the puck. Watch the opponent's chest and put him right to the ice.
See what happens this time. Corey Perry and Volchenkov, and a good bump there. And so Emery just steers it across. Lob to Pronger, a 31-minute man. 3 of the defensemen on this team play over half of the regular game average. Swung in front and guided back out. The Senators divided up much more. There's always that case being made for whether a player gets weary at this time of year. You're not going to get anyone to admit it tonight in game 1 of a final.
And adrenaline counts for something, Doc, trust me.
That one hopped out of play into the bench area.
You know what, Doc? I think a defining moment for the Ottawa Senators was way back on February 22nd. The game against the Buffalo Sabres, where I really think they sent a message not only to themselves but throughout the National Hockey League. They stuck together. The coaches were going at it. Lindy Ruff for the Buffalo Sabres, Brian Murray. And there's Ray Emery taking around Marty Biron. Look at the record after that game in Buffalo. They went 10-1-4. They picked up points in 14 of 15 games. They had a similar situation earlier in the year in October. They played a game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Darcy Tucker jumped Patrick Eaves. Nobody jumped in there. Nobody helped out Patrick Eaves. After that game, they went 2-7 in their next 9 games. I really think that was a defining moment for the Ottawa Senators. They came together. It's a little thing, but very important.
It is Patrick Eaves who has run off with some authority that time by Brad May, a very physical player. And now May having words with the standing Ottawa bench.
And Mike Fisher having words with May from the Ottawa side. Seen the matchup so far. He talked about it at the start, Doc, talking about the checking line of Samuel Paulson, Travis Moen, and Rob Niedermeyer against the Spezza, Heatley, Alfredson line.
Ducks bring out their line of size now. We've talked about 2 of the lines, the defensive one and the big guns, but now they have a line that weighs 250, or rather 652 pounds. They average about 252. And Dustin Penner, who hands to Corey Perry, who looks for Getzlaf. Perry, a shot, and blocked off by Emery. Paddled for by Volchenkov. Penner reaching in. To a side, and Penner prevailed. Can he go very far? Flipped it through, and Getzlaf took it. Leaned on by Volchenkov, but he bounced right out. Getzlaf pitched it back, and Chris Neal flipped it further.
Well, that's Ducks hockey right there, as Randy Carlyle talks about the coach of the Ducks. Cycling and grinding type hockey. Play below the tops of the circles and finish your checks.
As Pronger did on Phillips. Beauchemin back. There is no territorial area for Chris Pronger, as we just saw. Anywhere he's needed, he goes. And with some authority, a giveaway off of Schubert, but it's played back across now for big Sean Thornton, who brings it ahead.
And that was Beauchemin. I think he was trying to get that puck to his defensive partner for this shift, Rick Jackman, but a dangerous pass in the middle of the ice.
Eaves tried to connect across, and Schubert pitched it back in. One of the other wonderful things about this matchup is the health of the two teams. No injuries for Ottawa. Eaves is back from a first-round injury suffered against Pittsburgh. And only Chris Kunitz with a broken bone in his right hand out for Anaheim. Another cluster, another stop, nearing the halfway point of the first.
Well, speaking of Chris Kunitz, he skated today, playing with the broken hand.
Have you known players to be able to play with?
There's a hit by Eaves on Marchand. I think at times, Doc, but again, it's depending on how much movement that he can have in that hand. It might be an outside chance that we may see Chris Kunitz sometime in this series. Probably a little bit later than sooner. It's such an important part. I don't think people realize how important of a player Chris Kunitz is, especially playing on top line with Timo Solani and Andy McDonald. He's kind of that go get the puck and finish your checks and open up the ice for those two players that he plays with.
It is Alfredson, but chipped away from him. Started back by Rob Niedermeyer. Banked it back in. 3 goals for Rob against Detroit in the last round. A personal tie of a Hawk. Follow up now, and it's brought back ahead. Nice move by Heatley just to get position, but he passed it away from Jason Spezza. So Scott Niedermeyer with this. The only Duck with his name on the cup 3 times with New Jersey. The only Senator is the backup goaltender, Martin Gerber, last year with the Carolina Hurricanes. Drew Miller with a shot that went off of Ray Emery. Pitched on back past the Michigan Stater, Drew Miller. And around it comes now to Wade Redden, who is shouldered by Miller. Puck popped up again. Solani fed. McDonald scores!
Oh, what a first shift. What a first shift for Drew Miller. And the Stanley Cup final. Practice all week with the line of McDonald and Solani. Did not start that way, but 2 finish hits. The pass by Solani to Andy McDonald. Top shelf, but no hesitation by Andy McDonald. The play below the goal line, the finish check, and a soft little pass by Solani. As soon as that stick hit the puck, Emery was down. McDonald went upstairs over the glove. But what a shift. What a first shift in his second playoff game. His first shift in the Stanley Cup final, Drew Miller. But Andy McDonald gets the Ducks on the board.
The first final point for Teemu Solani in his first final game. Andy McDonald with his 6th goal of the playoffs, the All-American from Colgate. There'll be an icing that will come up from this, but it is wiped out. Phillips has it taken away by Perry. Perry, a little backhand toss that came behind now for Getzlaf. And the big boys get moving with the cycle. Right in front, backhander by Pinner, went off Emery and wide. And Neal is hammered by O'Donnell.
Boy, he had a lot more time than he realized, Doc. He thought there was a defender right on him. All he had to do was just kind of take a quick little look. He had Emery out of position.
It is Perry, past Getzlaf. Wiping out was Moen, taken by Getzlaf, stood up and worked over hard by Phillips. The chant is "Let's go Ducks." The pitch by Volchenkov. Sent along by Beauchemin. Grabbed by Volchenkov again. Oh, what a hit by Brad May. Schaefer went flying. Puck to the back. Shot by Jackman, knocked down in front. Up for grabs and whipped right back to the half boards, and a rollicking hit by Sean Thornton.
You got fresh bodies on the ice for Anaheim. Ottawa's dead tired.
May a shot, and it went loose off Volchenkov. Jackman lays it around Thornton after it. A tangle of players, but play continues. Thornton feeds to the back. Beauchemin, a shot! Covered by Emery. Loose by Moen. It went off the outside of the cage wide. glove of Emery, dug for behind, played off the boards, and Jackman tries to stop and does. A good keep by Rick Jackman, but now it's McCammon to lay it across, and the fans are screaming at all of the attack that their team is being able to generate here. Now Patrick Eaves, as they settle back in their seats again, he dealt it in, and a rousing cheer as there's a change in line.
Back-to-back outstanding shifts for the Ducks. The momentum. They seized the momentum with the goal by Andy McDonald.
Dustin Penner came close through Emery, but wide. Still 1-1.
When I took the job, I had every ambition that one day I would rule the world. I had no idea that first I'd have to circle it. About 10 times. Making the sale makes me jump out of bed in the morning. I just have to remember where I am that day. I work because I'm driven. I work to close the deal.
Whether it's a job or a career, when it's right, it's a passion. Go to Monster.com today and find the job that works for you.
Monster works for me.
When the moment's right, you'll want to be confident that you'll be ready. Anytime, anywhere. Maxiderm's amazing male enhancement formula works instantly and feels great. If you've ever wondered if male enhancement products really work, now's the time to try Maxiderm.
He doesn't need a prescription. He uses Maxiderm.
Call the number on your screen right now to try Maxiderm absolutely risk-free. Plus, for a limited time, receive a free pack of Vasamine for sustained performance. Maxiderm is instant male enhancement. She knows you've still got it after all these years. That performance edge. Your secret? Maxiderm. And even though Maxiderm's recommended by a leading physician, you don't need a prescription to get it.
Prescriptions are one thing. Maxiderm is completely different.
Call the number on your screen right now to try Maxiderm absolutely risk-free. Plus, for a limited time, receive a free pack of Vasamine for sustained performance. Call in the next 15 minutes and get upgraded rush delivery absolutely free. Maxiderm is instant male enhancement.
Back in Anaheim, 1-1 on the Ottawa bench with Wade Redden. How do you settle things down after that last 2 or 3 minutes?
Just get the puck out, get it in. I think we did a good job weathering it. Razor made a save there to keep it at 1-1, so just got to get going the other way, get the puck out, get it in.
Great, thanks a lot. All right, Doc.
Pretty good recipe. The last 5 chances in the game have belonged to the Ducks. Scoring play, McDonald, his 6th from Solani at 10:55, and another big hit. Rob Niedermeyer and Pricing met together. Boards and glass involved in that as this is slowed down by Emery. Pricing had to move to that, played it back ahead off Heatley. Kept alive, good swarming by the Ducks off a glass support though from Sammy Paulson. Trouble for Corvo. Senators looking a little overwhelmed right now. It does go in surges during a game, but now they break back out. They might get a 3-on-2 out of this. Pulled by Spezza, fed across and back checked away by Moen, and he's able with the help of Pronger to control.
Real good job defensively there by Scott Niedermeyer. And forced Spezza into a real tight play, even though he's able to move the puck from the left wing boards all the way to the right. Niedermeyer took away his time and space and really forced him to do something he didn't want to do.
This is banked back in, and Teemu Solani goes roaring after it, and he got there. Still a duel with Mazzaros, who prevailed. Schaefer ahead. Comrie run off by Beauchemin, and it's brought ahead, and then a drive. Oh, and then a little slug on Comrie after the whistle.
Yeah, Jackman's going to go, Doc. Ottawa's going to have a power play when we come back from our commercial break. The clothesline by Rick Jackman on Mike Comrie.
It is becoming mean-spirited. The H in hockey means hits. There was one, and a penalty later.
Pizza. We're here to go. Delivery. Delivery. Yeah, delivery.
Lewis.
You never believe me.
Pizza's here. Hey.
They had a little captain in them because they always designated driver.
Drink responsibly.
Feeling real good about lunch today. This new KFC biscuit bowl's got all my favorites. It's got chicken.
I got a burger.
Mashed potatoes.
Fries.
Got corn and gravy, cheese, and now it comes with a biscuit.
Well, I got a bun. It's kind of like a biscuit.
Not even a little bit. Biscuit-esque? No, it's not.
Introducing the new Chicken and Biscuit Bowl from KFC. Layers of mashed potatoes, sweet corn, all white meat chicken, new home-style white gravy, and a 3-cheese blend. And now it comes with a buttermilk biscuit. Dig into great layers of flavor with new KFC famous bowls.
The quest for the Cup concludes in Ottawa. After 9 months and nearly 100 games, the Senators are one step away from claiming the greatest prize in sports. Led by the unstoppable duo of Jason Spezza and Danny Heatley, the Senators will now follow their captain on a final charge to seize their place in history. Follow the Senators' quest on NBC and Versus and log on to NHL.com for complete coverage of the Stanley Cup Final.
Jackman roughing. Second power play to the Senators.
Well, the play was offside for Ottawa. Mike Comrie, the whistle goes, he comes in, he still shoots the puck anyways. Hits Jackman in the ankle, gives him a quick little shot with the stick, and then a clothesline by Jackman. Not a good penalty. And that's something Randy Carlyle talked about, his team playing with that controlled discipline. Comrie drawing the penalty. Lone goal score for the Senators to this point.
Mike Fisher waved out of the face-off, and so it's Comrie coming in. And he won it cleanly and shot one that was blocked down. Followed through from Schaefer, denied by O'Donnell. Popped high by Getzlaf.
At 14-14.
Dodge intermission report coming up with our gang here in the arena. Hockey Central is here.
All right.
Bill and Keith and Brian and special guest Mark Messier with only 5 Edmonton rings and 1 from the Rangers, plus first period analysis.
You know what's interesting here, Doc, after the commercial break, Brian Murray, head coach of the Sens, decided to start his second power play unit that scored the goal. He did not come out with the Alfredson Spezza Heatley line.
Saving them for the next wave. Lazzaro's blasted in. Comrie had it steered away and eventually floated on. And second effort by Moen did not get it out, but Getzlaf will be able to flip it on back. Bob Niedermeyer is out now on the penalty kill along with Sammy Paulson as Redden feeds it across. Taken on by Heatley, but denied from him. O'Donnell moves in, and Redden there, punched away from Pronger. Ottawa shotless in the last 6 minutes. No shots on goal for the Senators as we're down to 4 3/4 to go in period 1. 55 on their power play as Joe Corvo, the one-time Los Angeles King, brings it on. Wade Redden blasts it in. 13 draft choices of the Senators in this lineup, including Redden. 4 Ducks draft choices. Redden waits and holds. Then on to Alfredson again. Daniel Alfredson, the blast, and that one blocked right down and taken over by Bolsheman and blasted back down. Whoa, and a hopper.
Dipping and diving, bouncing.
But the Dodger shortstop comes up with that one, and it is laid back down again for Ray Emery to have a little more conventional approach to.
I actually think the general manager of the Dodgers is here tonight, Ned Coletti.
Years ago, a hockey writer covering the Philadelphia Flyers for a paper called The Journal rattled back in and chipped on further. It came behind now for control by Vermette, shoves it in front, and the attempt was not a strong one coming from Chris Kelly as he'd not gotten position. No position allowed for Vermette because of Pronger, and back ahead with the penalty box empty. It is brought on by Getzlaf. Nicely escapes and lobs one wide. Moving in is Drew Miller. Angled behind is Solani. Solani run off by Neal. To the back to O'Donnell with 3:20 to go in this first period, and the puck sent out of play. Oh, this has been terrific.
Early and often. Couple goals and some nastiness. The finish checks. The big hit, Brad May on Todd Marchand, Paulson on Corvo. And it's so important, and I think both coaches have talked about it, Doc, is that the physical hockey is an important part. Take a look at the numbers, and we still got 3:19 left to go here in the first. It's important when you do play physical, you pick your time and your space to be able to do that. You pick those opportunities. You don't run out of position. If you run out of position to make a hit, players are so skilled.
You saw the beginning of what almost developed there between Neal and May. Niedermayer dropped the gloves. It didn't get that serious as peeling back now is Phillips.
You run out of position, Doc. It's going to open up those opportunities. You got to let plays develop and let hits come to you. There's a lot of talking been going on, and you have your role players certainly knowing and accepting their role and their responsibility on their team. A little shot by Neal and Brad May. Two up and down, tough, hard-nosed wingers.
May was the only real change that general manager Brian Burke made. Just wanted a little more toughness, wanted his skilled guys protected, knew that that was Brad May's reputation. He said, we kicked a lot of tires, but we only made one block.
And we picked a free agent, Brad May. You know what you're going to get from him. You talk about Chris Neal. Brian Murray was talking about him yesterday. He's the most improved Ottawa Senator player over the course of the year.
Chopped around behind by Fisher, taken by Mazzaros with 2.5 to go. Some trouble there, and so Mazzaros is back behind. Slovakia-born defenseman. Partner in the international teams in Slovakia, Zdeno Chara. This one flipped along now by Scott Niedermayer, and it hopped over the glass, out of play. And because it careened off the glass, no penalty.
You talk about Zdeno Chara not being here, Martin Havlat not here anymore, Doc. That's opened up opportunities for Volchenkov, for Phillips, for Redden, for Mazzaros. And you talk about, you have Pricing and Corbo, the third defensive pair for Brian Murray and the Ottawa Senators. It's about the opportunity, and they've seized that opportunity.
Wade Redden playing his best right now. He came out of training camp with a severe groin injury that cost him really effectiveness in the first half of the season. But that was when a lot of other things, as you mentioned, weren't really going too well for Ottawa either. Got a lot better as Moen takes this over for the Ducks. Back for a shot that is juggled by Emery. Scrambled for it there, but Emery is able to cover as Rob Niedermayer was trying to shake it free.
You just never know. Get the puck to the net and good things will happen. The shot from the point. Travis Moen, the checking line out there against the top line of the Ottawa Senators, and the rebound laying there for Rob Niedermayer. Take a look at the reverse angle. He tries to kick it from his skate to his stick. Nice juicy rebound there for the Ducks.
Pronger shooting, blocked in front, scramble for it. And it is sent around now and eventually flicked back out off the stick of Danny Heatley.
The face-off win there by Paulson. Doc kind of got tied up in sticks and kicked it back with his skate instead of using the old traditional way, using a stick.
Earlier, that hit total we showed you at 22. The shot total now is 11, and the goal total is at 2-1 each. All right. Forced back through Corbo. Scoring chances are 8-2 Anaheim. Joe Corbo will try to change that. Weaving its way along, the pass went off McCammon and is flipped on back and gathered in by Tom Pricing.
Face-off win by Samuel Paulson. That was the first offensive face-off won by either team here in the first period.
Tom Pricing was converted from forward to defense at Colorado College. Made a great living out of it. It's coming from there. Moving back ahead now on the Anaheim attack. Working his way around is Francois Beauchemin to play it on a cross. Missed one game earlier when a puck struck him in the jaw in the first round. It was only out for a game. Played along now to Getzlaf again. Trickled it in, hoping for Perry. Perry chipped it around behind Dustin Penner to get it there. Knifed on along to Getzlaf, who was all over tonight and getting a lot of ice time for good reason. Battled for and played on by Perry. Phillips had some trouble there. The big guys wheel in, and the Senators have had difficulty with them. They'll have to drop back again. Meanwhile, a line change for Anaheim.
Remember that shift, Doc, earlier in the game where the Ducks were able to make a change and get a couple fresh lines out there. That was the same situation for Ottawa. It's the same line, the fourth line for the Senators, and the defensive pair, Volchenkov and Phillips out there.
Andy McDonald pasted to the glass as the horn sounds. The shot went off the outside of the cage. The Senators and the Ducks have played 20 rough minutes. 1-1, and the Senators did not have a shot in the last 11 minutes of play.
With time expiring, Andy McDonald wins the race. He gets hammered, Doc, and then he stays with it. So even though his check was finished, stayed on his feet and then moved back to the front, trying to create another offensive opportunity.
Comrie on the power. Comrie on the power play. McDonald tied it up. Shots were 8-4. Stay tuned for the Dodge Intermission Report with Bill, Mark, Brian, and Keith. That's coming up after the break.
Philips Norelco Smart Touch XL adjusts to your face for a closer shave with 50% more shaving surface and 3 shaving rings in each shaving head. Philips Norelco, the world's best-selling electric shaver. Simplicity is making every stroke count.
Tony Stewart here with my buddy Jared.
Subway restaurants are known for tasty, low-fat subs, like the 6-inch sweet onion chicken teriyaki. At 5 grams of fat, it's a third the fat of a McDonald's snack wrap.
And look at it. It's a lot more food. Fills me up without slowing me down.
So, Tony, would you say that makes Subway restaurants your favorite pit stop? The tasty 6-inch sweet onion chicken teriyaki from Subway restaurants. A third the fat of a McDonald's snack wrap.
And a lot more food. Fills me up without slowing me down. Subway, race hard, eat fresh.
Hi, Enterprise. I'm at the repair shop, and I need to rent a car.
At Enterprise, we'll arrange to pick you up free and get you on your way.
Nice save, Mom.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Code Red. Need to hide.
You again. Hey, where can I compare auto insurance prices at this hour?
Easy. Get your Esurance quote, compare prices from other companies instantly online.
I save hundreds.
You'll save time, too. Quote by print. Not much compares with the convenience of Esurance. I gotta fly. If you're on the go, you gotta have Esurance.
Compare and save on auto insurance.
Visit esurance.com today.
Why are investors jumping to Scottrade?
Buy 500 shares online or 5,000. It's still $7 a trade.
You bet it is. What makes Scottrade so special?
$7 trades and the service. On the phone, in person, they're the best.
Roger that.
Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final on Versus is brought to you by the all-new 2008 Dodge Avenger. The perfect combination of innovation, bold style, and spirited performance. Dodge, official vehicles of the NHL.
Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final, and in Stanley Cup Final history, this is only the 6th game played ever on California ice, and we're delighted that you're with us tonight. Bill Clement, Keith Jones, Brian Engblom, Mark Messier. We got a 1-1 hockey game. Boys, that was a lot of hockey in one period.
Yeah.
Mark, what jumped off the ice about period number 1?
I don't remember the game being that fast. I was just couldn't believe how fast the game was out there, speed and the energy that was out there in the first period there. To me, it looked like Ottawa was came out with their sure adrenaline there. But after the period wore on, Anaheim came on, and Ottawa looked like it had been off for 9 days.
Well, you're right. Ottawa came out fast. That goal by Mike Comrie was the fastest goal at the start of a Stanley Cup Final game since 1982. Comrie's goal came 1 minute and 38 seconds in. Brian, you talked before the game about Ottawa wanting to get jiggy. J.S. Giguère moving east and west. They didn't do it that often, but when they did, it was effective.
He is so big, you have to be able to get him to move from side to side in the crease area, and on the goal, it's exactly what they were able to do. Giguère comes out and he's a big wall. The puck starts off at the point, and when it's at the point, he comes out and confronts them. But when he does that, they pass it down into the face-off circle, and Comrie is there. We'll get a look at it for you later. But Comrie pulls the trigger really quickly. So Giguère is here, has to slide way across and confront Comrie. He can't do that. That's exactly what they're trying to do at the start of things. On top of that, I thought Ottawa had a really good start to the game. The big line was out there 3 or 4 times really early on and had a lot of puck control. But boy, then it really flipped around in the second half, and Anaheim was really coming.
For people that didn't followed Keith Jones' career, he was a robust player, a physical player, liked the tough stuff. Was that game in the first period physical enough for you?
It was unbelievable. What an entertaining hockey game. All over the ice, the hits were coming. Ottawa started out banging, and Anaheim absolutely answered the bell. When they got down 1-0, they didn't change anything about the way that they play this game. Got pucks in deep, a lot of little dump-ins, which they got first-man pressure on, and every guy that got on that puck was hitting. Rob Niedermeyer, 3 hits in the period. Travis Moen and Samuel Paulson, his line mates, they were physical every opportunity they had, trying to wear down the Jason Spezza line. That's how you do it. You get them in deep and you hit. You're physical, you're demanding, and you're tough to play against. An extremely entertaining period.
Ottawa turned the puck over a lot in that second half. You're scaring me.
Yes. I'm gonna elbow you.
Yeah, well, in 2003, when Anaheim went to the Stanley Cup final, Andy McDonald was on their roster, but he did not play one game in the playoffs because of a concussion. He is on their roster now. He is in this game tonight, and he has Anaheim's only goal. He's with Christine Simpson.
Thanks very much, Bill. Andy, coming into this game, you had scored just once in the previous 10 games. How does it feel to start your Stanley Cup final with a goal?
Yeah, it's a good feeling. You know, we had a little bit of a layoff, and you know, to come out, you don't know how you're going to feel, so it was good to get a goal early.
Well, your 6th of the playoffs came from a great pass by Teemu Selanne and a wonderful first shift for Drew Miller.
Yeah, it was a good shift. You know, there a couple good things happened. I think they turned the puck over to Teemu, and Teemu kind of drove the net and slid it over to me, and it was a good pass, so I had a pretty good, easy shot.
Well, we know this is a team that you guys have not seen for almost a year and a half. You've been poring over videotapes, you've been reading scouting reports. Anything surprise you about them in the first?
You know, I mean, we watched a lot of video on them. They got a good team, and you have to do a little bit different things to prepare because you haven't faced them in the regular season. But you know, we have to be ready. Probably do a few things better in the second because you know, we were undisciplined at times there in the first.
Well, Andy, good luck in that second.
Thank you.
Bill?
Christine, thank you very much. First Stanley Cup final game for Andy McDonald. First final goal. By the way, the big Spezza line for Ottawa. Not one shot in the first period. Back after this.
In the all-new Dodge Avenger.
Commence heat-seeking missile test.
With a heated cup holder. .5-liter V6. And ESP with all-speed traction control. Oh, did we mention the cup holder also cools? The all-new Dodge Avenger.
Quand notre cœur fait boum, tout avec lui dit boum, et c'est l'amour qui s'éveille. Boum, il chante Loving Bloom, au rythme de ce boum, quand notre cœur fait boum, 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 je n'entends que boum.
There's always something to remind me of another place and time. Sometimes all I need is the air that I breathe. Yes, to love you. All I need is the air that
Sometimes all you need is Advance Auto Parts. Now through June 30th, all air filters are 25% off. Save gas, save money, breathe easier. We're ready in Advance.
I'm Sue, and I live here in this apartment building, and this is our garden. When I first got here, this was full of weeds and absolutely no color. My guys at Home Depot helped me with everything from condition of the soil to what grows best in what light. The garden, it makes friendships. It's brought a sense of community to the building that we're sharing. Go plant something and watch it grow. If you grow good things in your garden and in your life, then you're surrounded by beauty.
Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final coming your way from Honda Center in Southern California, Anaheim to be precise. We've got a 1-1 hockey game, Sens and Ducks after 1. So I think the family affair thing goes something like this. If Ryan Miller of the Buffalo Sabres couldn't get the job done against Ottawa, they tabbed younger brother Drew Miller, who's only 23, playing his first final game for Anaheim, saying, go ahead, kid. You try to knock off Ottawa.
Drew Miller was absolutely great in that first period. Had only played 2 minutes and 15 seconds in his entire National Hockey League career from Michigan State. Look at the physical play here, taking that body on Wade Redding, forcing the turnover where Solani capitalizes with a nice one-touch pass to Andy McDonald. You need lots of players to step up in the playoffs. He played 2 minutes that period. That doubles his experience in the National Hockey League. Look to see a lot of Drew Miller the rest of this hockey
He's
game.
a veteran now, right, Brian?
He must be a fast learner if you learned in 2 minutes or so, but the fact that they were able to use him on that first line, it started off that Randy Carlyle had put Marchand up on that first line, but he changed it later on. He wants to be able to put Marchand back at center on the fourth line. Anaheim really needs to have a fourth line that they didn't use very much earlier on in the playoffs. Ottawa's a four-line team. Anaheim has got to have to be able to match that at certain times. So Marchand, May, and Thornton were a very effective fourth line for Anaheim at the end of that first period. They did a real good job, and May almost scored a goal on the forecheck.
So, Mark, if Drew Miller came to you in the locker room before Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final with as little experience as he had and said, Mark, what should I do here? What would you tell him?
Well, I can guarantee you he didn't get a lot of sleep last night thinking about this game. It's obviously the biggest moment of his young professional career to play in the Stanley Cup Finals right now. But I think the big thing for a young kid like that is just tell him to go out there and just have as much fun as he can under the circumstances. Don't be afraid to make mistakes and execute his game plan that he can help contribute to the team, because you know he's going to have all the energy that it takes to go out there and play. But the big thing at this time is execution, and don't be afraid to make a mistake. It's a game of mistakes there. Go out there and try to relax under the circumstances.
Execution is exactly what Ottawa did in the first 2 minutes. For most of that first period, the ice was tilted down towards their end. But a .38 in, Mike Comrie gave him a 1-0 lead. That's their only goal. We'll be back to the studio after this.
WU. Your cell phone bill is what's up. All this texting.
OMG, INBD.
It is a big deal. Who are you texting 50 times a day?
IDK, my BFF Jill.
Tell your BFF Jill that I'm taking away your phone.
TISNF.
Me paying this bill, that's what's to SNF.
Now too much texting is NBD. AT&T brings you unlimited texting, just $5 more a month. Now get half off all Samsung phones. Singular's name is now AT&T.
When I took the job, I had every ambition that one day I would rule the world. I had no idea that first I'd have to circle it. About 10 times. Making the sale makes me jump out of bed in the morning. I just have to remember where I am that day. I work because I'm driven. I work to close the deal.
Whether it's a job or a career, when it's right, it's a passion. Go to Monster.com today and find the job that works for you.
Monster works for me.
The Tour de France begins July 7th on Versus. Let the real drama begin.
I'm Mark Goldston, Chairman and CEO of Net Zero. Look, we all know that every internet provider takes you to the same internet, so why pay more to get there? At Net Zero, we give you internet access at a great price, starting at $9.95 a month. You'll get features like pop-up blocker, virus protection, and the fastest surfing over dial-up. And Net Zero is risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. All this for just $9.95 a month. Call 1-800-NET-ZERO or visit netzero.com.
Outstanding professors have a way of changing your perspective, especially the professors at American Intercontinental University Online. And the best part? You don't have to go to college. College will go to you. Call now to learn about earning a degree fast, completely online. Employees from nearly half the Fortune 500 rely on AIU, a respected university that helps you earn the degree you need quickly and conveniently. AIU Online will change your life, and it starts when you call. To learn how you can have a degree sooner than you thought, call now.
Everybody has a plan until you get hit. When some guy knees you in the face, you're not thinking about what your trainer told you. You're not thinking at all. All those hours you spent in the gym don't prepare you to fight. They prepare you to fight back.
And welcome back. We want to remind everybody there's still time to register for the Versus All or Nothing sweepstakes. Just log on to Versus.com and you can become eligible to win prizes, which include a 2008 Dodge Avenger. Sign up now. Have your chance to win. Well, for the second time in 4 years, the Stanley Cup final has come to Anaheim, California. Their Ducks outshot Ottawa 8-4 in the first, and we're 1-1 heading to the second.
Ram Heavy Duty with a legendary 6.7-liter Cummins diesel and best-in-class low-end torque. Part of the longest-lasting, most durable line of full-size pickups, Dodge Ram. It'll be around for a long, long time. Now get 0% financing or $3,500 cash allowance on Dodge Ram Heavy Duty. Discover America's hottest products at your Dodge dealer.
I signed up for car insurance on Progressive.com. I saved money, which was great, but they also have these local response vehicles. And if you're in an accident or need an estimate or whatever, a Progressive guy will come to you. And they're all over. I am a musician who's on the road a lot, so it's pretty cool that they'll come to me if my van, you know, gets pummeled by adoring fans. Or if I hit a pole.
Progressive. Saving hundreds is just the beginning.
It came out of nowhere.
Feeling real good about lunch today. This new KFC biscuit bowl's got all my favorites. It's got chicken.
I got a burger.
Mashed potatoes.
Fries.
Got corn and gravy, cheese, and now it comes with a biscuit.
Well, I got a bun. It's kind of like a biscuit.
It's not even a little bit.
Biscuit-esque.
No, it's not.
Introducing the new Chicken and Biscuit Bowl from KFC. Layers of mashed potatoes, sweet corn, all white meat chicken, new home-style white gravy, and a 3-cheese blend. And now it comes with a buttermilk biscuit. Dig into great layers of flavor with new KFC famous bowls.
Pass it. Come on. Put it in the zone. Yeah, put it in the zone.
You wouldn't make it in the NHL. But you can get inside with VCast. Watch highlights, interviews, and everything hockey. Exclusively from Verizon Wireless.
So where do you think you're going?
Scottsdale. Des Moines?
Wait a minute. You're not Wade? You don't know your postage? Sit tight. You are not going anywhere.
We're flat rate boxes. That stuff's already figured out, Pops. Yeah.
Oh, so you think that you could sit there and expect the mail lady to waltz in here and whisk you away like... Whoop.
Yep. Yeah, that's how it works.
Punks.
Free package pickup. Now even more convenient with easy-to-use flat rate boxes.
Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final on Versus is brought to you by the all-new 2008 Dodge Avenger, the perfect combination of innovation, bold style, and spirited performance. Dodge, official vehicles of the NHL. And by Progressive. Visit Progressive.com today.
Andy McDonald has scored for the homestanding Anaheim Ducks. The jury is not only out on the Senators' goal, it just ordered sandwiches. We're going to have to wait a while. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final is available in HD, brought to you by Toshiba HD DVD. It will either be Comrie or Fisher. Twice as many hits as shots in that period and only a goal apiece. Your thoughts?
Well, I think the guys touched on it quite well. It was early for Ottawa, and then the physicality of the Anaheim Ducks surely took over. And I think, again, Randy Carlyle talks about the hard, grinding type of style, playing below the top of the circle, and that's exactly what ended up happening. So they took the majority of that period towards the end.
Tom Pricing is mic'd up tonight, brought to you by Bud Light. He is the Senators' defenseman, and this is what he had to say during the first period.
Come on, man, stay with it. Heads. Hey! Mass down! Up! James! Watch your head, Larry. I'm the best. All my teammates are too.
The last conversation was with Paul Dvorsky, the referee. Tom will start at the bench in this second period. It will be Spezza and Alfredson out there along with Danny Heatley to go against the guys you would expect in this situation. Rob Niedermeyer and Travis Moen and Sammy Paulson, who is exchanging sticks away from the play at center ice with Spezza.
The 8th shift of the game for these guys, 5-on-5, and they've all been out there at the same time. Paulson line against the Spezza line.
No carryover penalties nor power plays as Scott Niedermeyer looks over the traffic and starts to glide ahead. There are defensive schemes that the teams try to set up. Obvious that time that Ottawa had one, and that's why the read by Scott Niedermayer, as this is brought back ahead by younger brother Rob Niedermayer. Scott pulled the trigger of one that went on goal, and the rebound popped up loose off of Moen, and is settled down now and turned to the outside by Paulson. Then behind to Rob Niedermayer, twisted a pass, it came right out in front, was turned on Emery, but bounced around behind to a side contest, and emerging Rob Niedermayer to be worked on by Wade Redden. And a penalty is coming up.
It's going to be on Wade Redden. 1-1 after one. But on a power play, Mike Comrie gets a puck back to Andre Mazzaros. A shot by Fisher. They're crediting Comrie to the goal, but it looks like Fisher should get credit. But Drew Miller with a finish check. Solani to McDonald, top shelf. A power play for the Ducks. Second of the game.
Their first one was a shotless one. Pronger to Scott Niedermayer. Getzlaf and Solani and Todd Marchand are out there. Marchand standing in front of Ray Emery, the goalkeeper for Ottawa. Pronger banked it on. Scott Niedermayer from his knees tried to play it in front. Solani, a shot hit the outside of the net. And we get a hand pass ruled against Ottawa, and the face-off to come back to center. This power play brought to you by Variety Big Box from KFC.
Well, a face-off won by Todd Marchand. Niedermayer, as he's going down on his knees, just got to get to the front, and a shot by Solani. Again, you win the face-off, you're able to dictate what goes on offensively.
Scott Niedermayer brings it ahead. Volchenkov is out for the defending Senators as this one thrown just past him and on goal for the Emery block from Marchand. Scott Niedermayer flipped. Volchenkov took it, tucked it around behind. Chris Phillips races after that one, flipped it, got some help, and it's knocked back out to center by Chris Kelly. Solani twisted it on, brought right back by Pronger again. The delay, and then Solani. Marchand. Pronger again. Pronger, the shot deflected in front, off the defense, nicely swept away by Volchenkov. Getzlaf again. Has Pronger for the one-timer. Pad stop by Emery, and he covers.
Well, Todd Marchand standing right in front of Ray Emery. I don't know if this puck ever gets to Emery or not. Todd Marchand causing havoc in front of Ray Emery. A nice little redirect there by Marchand, and a shot blocked by Anton Volchenkov. And puts his legs together, doesn't allow the puck to get to his goaltender, but that last opportunity, good execution by Getzlaf to get it to Pronger, to get it to the net.
Beauchemin handed it back. Pronger sped it behind, away from Penner, and played by Ryan Getzlaf. Kicked by Schubert, played back up to a vacant point, so they'll have to regather. The last 10 shots in this game have been off Duck sticks. 12 shots to 4, Anaheim, in a 1-1 tie with 25 to go on the power play. Chris Pronger gave it up. Mazzaros cleared it, and so they'll drop back in the last 18. Pronger comes off for a brief rest at the bench. Drilled back off the glass by Beauchemin. Hopped on around for Alfredson, jostled there, but Schubert is able to clear. 2 seconds and 1. 2 shots on goal came from Anaheim sticks during that power play. So uneventful again. One strong stop made by Emery through a screen. Lob back in near Schubert. Took the hit, got it to Mazzaros. Comrie is out there for the full-strength Senators now, passed on to Fisher. Fisher nicely gained the zone and shot one that's deflected up into the mag. Mike Fisher is known for being a defensive centerman, but has turned into an offensive force for these Ottawa Senators. He was a Selke Trophy Best Defensive Forward finalist a year ago, but has been so important to these Senators in this run this year.
You talk about an offensive presence. Stocks 22 goals, 26 assists in the regular season. Not only killing penalties, but playing on the power play. Really giving Brian Murray a solid second line.
Pricing a shot, blocked away by the waffle board of Giguère. So they've gotten one in on goal now to make it 5 in the game. As this is laid along by Comrie, protected neatly and played along by Schaefer. Schaefer still, and Fisher, a strong shot that was stopped. Fisher played that to the corner, and Comrie is able to get it. Roughed up by Getzlaf, and he goes down. Comrie worked over repeatedly with those lacrosse checks from behind by Getzlaf. To a side battle behind. Down to the ice goes Comrie again, and the call being made by the trailing official.
It was about the 4th or 5th cross check by Ryan Getzlaf on Mike Comrie. He was pushing him, and then the separation from the back.
Cross check. Okay.
By Ryan Getzlaf. It's the second penalty that Mike Comrie has drew. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. There's a sticks on the back, no problem. And then right there, that was the penalty.
Getzlaf sits. Senators shift to the power play. 1 for the prior 2 and 1 shot, and that was the goal. Wish we could tell you with legal certainty who scored it. It's not finalized yet, but here comes shorthanded Rob Niedermayer, and a shot is held by Emery. Well, Wednesday night, we will be right back here in Anaheim for Game 2 of this 2007 Stanley Cup Final. Coverage begins with the quest for the cup at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, only on Versus. It is fun to be here, and it's fun to have all the guys from back in Connecticut who are in our studio most times along with us as traveling companions and entertainers.
Not only in front of the camera, but behind the scenes as well. The real important people of Hockey Central.
Off this face-off, it's brought ahead and shoveled on, but free to center ice, and the Ducks shorthanded can clear back in.
Shorthanded, a good opportunity there for Rob Niedermayer after his brother Scott made a great play defensively to clear the puck out.
Spezza able to shake off a couple of Ducks. Tried to center, but that was off Scott Niedermayer. Gotten by Alfredson. Back to Corvo for a shot, and it's blocked off by Giguère. Rebound on and rang off the post. To the back, Redden. Fires it on a passing play to Spezza. To the outside, Alfredson. Redden one-timer. Score! A power play goal for the Senators, and they've taken the lead.
Well, mass confusion in front of J.S. Giguère. He lost his stick. He lost his stick after the shot by Joe Corvo. There's the shot. There's the stick. It's out. Now it's a mad scramble. And Samuel Paulson tries to flip the stick to J.S. Giguère. He doesn't want to look at the right part of the screen, the left part of your screen. It goes on the right side of J.S. Giguère.
Boy, paved by good intentions. Sammy Paulson trying to help and may have added to the confusion there.
No question.
2 power play goals for the Senators, sandwiched around 1 by Anaheim, and so Ottawa with the lead here early in the second period. Pronger connects back across to Sean O'Donnell. Skipped one that Vermette was able to backhand in, and so out to slow it down is Giguère. Pronger given a little shove by the forechecking Chris Kelly. That one bounced back in to be settled down for O'Donnell. Now the crowd wanting something more to cheer about. Solani will try to help that. Tries for McDonald, that didn't work. Solani roughed up a bit, still battling. Jostled into there by Mike Fisher and came around with a stick as Comrie nicely slipped a pass ahead to Fisher. Fisher pawed at and run off by Beauchemin. Flipped ahead. A shift change on as Solani heads to the bench after touching that one. Fisher set it. Played along by Comrie. Tried to finesse but could not control. A little more of that clever confidence coming to the Senators now that we didn't see earlier. They look to be a little more careful. But the kind of plays that Comrie just made now weren't seeing coming when it was a tighter game, not only emotionally, but on the board.
Okay, get that first period out of the way, the 9-day layoff, and both goals by the Ottawa Senators. You mentioned, Doc, on the power play. Similar situations, moving the puck from low to high, moving from one side of the ice to the other. And even though it wasn't the Corvo goal, but that lane seems to be open, moving from one side to the other, pass it back through the seam and attack.
Sens general manager John Muffler was saying the other day, and of course this is a man who had 5 Stanley Cups with the Edmonton Oilers as a co-coach, assistant coach, or head coach. But we'll get to that in a moment, as this is a shot by May that is saved by Emery and played back ahead for control back out by Dean McCammon, who lobbed that one in. Beauchemin retreating to play.
This fourth line for the Ducks has had some good shifts.
Blocked by Giguère on the attempt from Patrick Eaves. So here is May. Canceled away from him. Shift change on for Ottawa, and another penalty coming up. It will be against the Ducks. It is Wade Redden letting the shot go that finds its way into the cage, and Ottawa will have another power play in a moment.
Aerodynamic design. Proton-powered acceleration to go up to 500 miles per hour. Flame-resistant seating. And yeah, it's got a Hemi. Introducing the Dodge Fantastic car, the only car fit for the Fantastic Four. Oh, and it can fly. See it in Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Only in theaters.
Boum, quand notre cœur fait boum, tout avec lui dit boum, et c'est l'amour qui s'éveille. Boum, il chante Loving Bloom, au rythme de ce boum, quand notre cœur fait boum, 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 je n'entends que boum.
Everybody has a plan until you get hit. When some guy knees you in the face, you're not thinking about what your trainer told you. You're not thinking at all. All those hours you spent in the gym don't prepare you to fight. They prepare you to fight back.
The Senators are up 2-1 here in the second period. Brad May, the physical style has really been a hallmark of this team all year. Now you're giving Ottawa another power play opportunity. How do you remain physical but stay out of the box?
Well, I clearly had to get that puck deep there, and got to be more persistent. Got to get that puck behind their defenseman and push the pace our way. So we got to kill this one and get the momentum.
Thanks, Brad. Mike.
Great shot and an opportunity off the initial faceoff for this power play that came from Heatley and was blocked by Giguère. Held now by Corbo and handed over for Redden. Redden turns it along to Daniel Alfredson. Pronger and Scott Niedermayer, the defense, trying to kill this off. A wrist shot by Redden and a stop is made by Giguère. Follows through by Alfredson. Trickled back to Spezza. We're going to get a penalty. The call is a slash. And it is another Duck.
Samuel Paulson. Well, a slash by Paulson on Daniel Alfredson. That was a nice little play there. That ice opened up for Alfredson there, Doc, because Jason Spezza skated in between him and Paulson. There was that separation. He gave him time. He got on the wrong side of the pile and took the penalty.
5-on-3s have been huge, especially if you don't score on them, as Detroit. But here's a shot by Heatley that is just grabbed and held. Good grab by Giguère. 5 against 3, and this fairly long, 1:25 now on it.
Not a good penalty by Samuel Paulson. He got beaten. You just got to live to fight another day. Looked like Danny Heatley was trying to pass this puck, Doc. Looked like he was looking for a pass, and at the last second, he was hoping Giguère was going to cheat. There was room upstairs, but a good save.
One by the Senators again, back to Redden. Alfredson. Fed to the front, but off a stick, and Getzlaf is able to chip it back out. They go with Mike Comrie near the front of the net now. Back ahead comes Alfredson and gives on to Heatley with Comrie breaking. It's fed to Alfredson, looks for Comrie, stays one in front, hit popped just wide after Giguère made the initial stop. Battled for by Pronger, it's squirted in front. Redden comes over and keeps play alive. Then along to Alfredson, shuttled around behind for the hold by Spezza. Alfredson laid it to the point, but it has to be regathered by Redden with still 3/4 of a minute to go in the 5-on-3. A giveaway to Scott Niedermayer, and so they must drop back further. Alfredson passed ahead. Heatley has it there and looks to Spezza. Breaking in toward the net is Comrie. Spezza across. Redden with a shot, and it's deflected to the glass. Played back along again. Daniel Alfredson once more. Captain of the team glides in and hands off to the outside. A shot, and it's ricocheted by Giguère to the high glass again from Spezza. Drilled back along by Pronger. Coming way out is Ray Emery. 10 to go on the first penalty. Give it up. Long toss. Oh, and it went wide. My goodness. And they are just settling back into their seats from that scare. Played back in deep, and it is Neal. One penalty up. 10 to go on the second. O'Donnell played further. Kicked back along and settled by Fisher. Trickled back toward the corner. More trouble coming up from Kent Huskins. Around behind. Penalty is up. They killed both of them off. Marchand nudges it ahead. Gliding on his Beauchemin now. They are standing here at Honda Center. Back is Fisher. Connects ahead. It's Schaefer the shot, and it went just wide. Along with it as Fisher jabbed it back in. Stepping to it is Pronger, and is able to back pass it along in the fielder that is carried up by Jackman. Well, in Mike training in hockey school, you would probably not teach your goaltender to even take that kind of chance, would you?
No, not exactly. Just stay in your net and stop it.
Rising shot got the glass from Schaefer. Played back along by Mazzaros. This one thrown back along by McCammon. Whipped back off of Fisher. Kept alive, though, by Phillips. Spun behind, and turning with it as McCammon laid one in front, and Drew Miller poked it away. McCammon persists, though, hoping for Vermette, but he doesn't get him. It's Jackman instead. Half-boards battle, coming by and poking it back out as McDonald gets it back from Solani and turns. Looking over the traffic, McDonald, he finds a man for a blast. Getting a piece of it, Emery, from Beauchemin's shot. Now Drew Miller, denied by McCammon. Jabbed off was McDonald, but he recovered and played one away from Huskins and down.
Well, Doc, that play all started for Anaheim because Drew Miller made a great play along the wall defensively, chipped it up to McDonald, and then the Ducks were off to the races. So good defense led to an offensive opportunity.
Drew Miller is earning a lot of time here, isn't he? More time, we would think. Things are happening when he's out there. It's 18 in the dark uniform. Played on back now for control by Mazzaros. Ahead to Daniel Alfredson. Alfredson drops, played by Spezza, and swung across. But it's brought right back out again by Sammy Paulson. Looked like he might have been the GOAT for that penalty earlier, but they were to kill off that second one as well as the first.
Back-to-back shifts for Jason Spezza, Doc. Lazy passes. You can't make that play. You cannot just hope that somebody's going to be there. That puck's got to get either towards the net or chipped in down low.
Banked ahead for Danny Heatley. One-time thrasher across for a drive that went off of Scott Niedermayer. He recovered well and handed out to Moen. And Moen just lobs one off the glove of Joe Corvo. Completed another change in lines. Mike Fisher finesses there. The Ducks are just finishing up theirs. This poked away from Corvo. And going back now is Pricey. It is Mike Fisher ahead. Plays it on to Comrie. Sized up and closed off by Niedermayer, but he escapes. Comrie tried to feed one in front, and that one blocked aside by Beauchemin. Sent right back behind. Tipped loose toward the corner and sent back by O'Donnell and shoved back on away from Pricey. Getzlaff and back in. Delayed offside wiped as they curl out and back in. Fans responding with chants. They would like to have orange armbands and striped shirts themselves. It'd be a different story. Back in comes Perry. Able to get away from Fisher, but Fisher came right back at him again. Perry prevailed, but then was just outmanned, and the Senators can work it off. 5 minutes of play without a whistle here. Middle part of the second period. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final, and Versus thrilled to be here at Honda Center in Anaheim, where the Senators have gotten a pair of power play goals, sandwiched around one by Andy McDonald to have a 2-1 lead.
Talked about the long stretch without a whistle, Doc. with Anaheim being really a 9-4 type of team, 3 lines, you have to incorporate your 4th line, and that's exactly what's happening here with Randy Carlisle.
Phillips run by a couple. That would mean an odd man if we had the right numbers out there, and we do for a trickler in that is paddled away by Giguère. Brad May chipped it in. Phillips back for that. Marchand on him. Marchand able to turn with it now, and Phillips battling with him further. Marchand fed one in front and May denied. Rebound is sent wide by Thornton. Oh, they almost got this tied. The 4th liners did. O'Donnell gives it across. Marchand to the back. Held there and played along by Kent Huskins. Volchenkov shoulders there with May and comes up with it. Anton Volchenkov got one ahead for Eves. Ahead now and wiping out and headed to the bench was Christian Schubert.
The more ice time is going to be warranted by that 4th line. Marchand, Thornton, and May. They've had 4 really good shifts here so far.
It'd be an interesting tournament if we had both of the 4th liners just going hot and heavy and getting lots of ice time, wouldn't it?
That is head-to-head, isn't it?
They might not have the greatest finish, but boy, do they ever have the heart. Ahead now, Solani. Canceled out by Chris Kelly. Coming by to take it is Mazzaros again. Looks ahead and puts it on the stick of Chris Neal. Fistic winger with a wrister that is just juggled and then caught by Giguère and held. 6:03 to go, 2nd period of play. Brad May had a chance at the front of the net, but it is still the Senators 2 and the Ducks 1.
Introducing the all-new Dodge Avenger. The all-new Dodge Avenger. It's a natural performer.
Premiering Sunday, southern Afghanistan. A small special forces team patrols a remote area the size of Rhode Island. A National Geographic film crew embedded with them on a mission that went terribly wrong. Inside the Green Berets premieres Sunday at 9 on Channel 186, the National Geographic Channel.
Okay, movies. Since Netflix has made it so easy for people to find the right movies, you're all going out today. Netflix users can choose from classics and new releases to TV shows and get the details on over 75,000 titles. Even search for children's movies based on age. That's you, Pinocchio. No late fees ever, so some of you may be out for quite a while.
Netflix. Start your free trial. Now, plans from only $4.99.
Been quite a game. 2-1, Senators have the lead. And then what you saw just pretty much typifies what we've been seeing. A hard-fought contest, battling on the boards and heavy hits out there. And a pair of power play goals for these Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, the more physical confrontations that happen, it becomes taxing. Not necessarily second, third period, maybe overtime, second game, third game. To try to wear down your opponent in a long series. Obviously, it's a race to 4. But that's where it pays dividends the longer the series goes.
Oh, Pricing jostled there in a hit by Moen, and that was enough for what they rule as an icing touch-up. The jury has come back and rendered a verdict. It is Mike Comrie who got that goal an hour ago. Sit back and hold on.
Aerodynamic design. Proton-powered acceleration to go up to 500 miles per hour. Flame-resistant seating. And yeah, it's got a Hemi. Introducing the Dodge Fantastic car, the only car fit for the Fantastic Four. Oh, and it can fly. See it in Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer. Only in theaters.
Code Green. I think I've lost him.
Hey, haven't I seen you before?
You sure have.
My car! It's too late to report my claim now.
Don't you have Esurance?
I do.
At Esurance, you can report your claim 24/7, online or on the phone. Always fast and friendly. You'll be back on the road in no time. Duty calls. If you're on the go, you gotta have Esurance.
Save on 24/7 claim service at Esurance.com.
Now is the best time to join AT&T's family tree and become a member of the nation's largest unlimited wireless calling community. Because now you get unlimited talk and unlimited text. Now get half off all Samsung phones. Singular's name is now AT&T.
Brian Getzlaf on the left, Ray Emery on the right. The Sens on a 5-on-3 power play. The puck gets cleared. Getzlaf out there the whole time. Emery with a complete giveaway. All he did is just shank that shot, go straight up, had the wide open net. You see Emery, he had to get his body up against the boards and wasn't able to control it, tried to pass it. Almost across his body, and Getzlaf was actually on his way to the bench. Getzlaf, Niedermeyer, Scott, that is, and Chris Pronger were out there for that whole 5-on-3 against. Did an outstanding job along with J.S. Jaguar. Getzlaf, all he had to do was settle the puck down, and he had a wide open opportunity.
There you see the chances in this. Ottawa has been dominant on faceoffs at 19-12. As Spezza tries to win from Paulson, but Paulson prevailed to Chris Pronger. Pinching his pricing, and he shot one off Daniel Alfredson that's gotten by Scott Niedermeyer and deflected back down by Moen, so Joe Corvo goes to get it. It was at that same end of the ice in the 2003 final that Marty Brodeur, who had 3 shutouts in that final, had one of the rare gaps in his career, letting one in from center ice. Here is Moen, and that one is taken away and outletted on to Daniel Alfredson, who moves up with Spezza. Carried on by Spezza, who holds and hooked one right in for Jaguar's easy play to Niedermeyer. So once in a while, even the best allow an odd one. And what a backbreaker that would have been had it been the gap by Emery that would have tied this game. Short-handed nonetheless, as this is tipped back down by Alfredson. And icing. Let's take a look at the Dodge storyline tonight, Mr. Olchek.
Well, hitting shift after shift. Get used to it, folks. Mike Comrie, Wade Redden, both power play goals. Andy McDonald with his 6th of the playoffs. There's a look at Mike Comrie and Wade Redden of the Ottawa Senators. Andy McDonald of the Ducks.
That was kind of a weird drop of the puck, and everybody agrees this should be done over. Except maybe, well, maybe Chris probably doesn't. He'll wait in there again with Getzlaf. We had no whistles for 7 minutes at one time in this period, and then 2 in 11 seconds, because they knew that we did have a few dollar signs. It's flipped on now by Dustin Penner off the short glass in the shelf to be played by Phillips. Run off by Penner. Good solid check on him. And back on comes Getzlaf. Getzlaf feeds, and Perry is able to let a shot go that ricocheted off of the man at the front of the net. Penner for the Ducks and wide. And icing will be called on the Senators. Stay tuned for the Verizon Wireless Intermission Report with Bill and Mark and Brian and Keith coming up at the end of this period. They are here in position with a great place to watch the game from.
Well, they got a great perch, yeah. There's Jonesy with that nice looking blue shirt. Angie to his right, and Bill sitting down. You called it Doc Penner with that big check to force the turnover. They were able to move down in that chance by Perry.
This is Solani to the outside with 4 1/4 to go in the second period. Andy McDonald turns. Flipped one that is hacked to the corner by Phillips. Runs back up the half boards and working his Beauchemin. Phillips tries again. Andy McDonald prevailed. Watched there by Vermette, shoulder into him. Popped off of Volchenkov and is grabbed and held by Emery.
Oh, that puck coming to the right of Ray Emery, Doc. He wasn't so sure about handling it with the stick, but watch the left part of your screen. Watch Ray Emery. Puck's going to, he drops his stick and then he picks it up with the hand that was holding the stick. Not able to get the big glove all the way over across his body to reach over, so he figured, you know what, I'm just going to drop my stick. You see Dominik Hasek do that a lot. Drop his stick and try to freeze up those pucks.
You think it's had an influence on goaltenders? Because earlier we saw Giguère's stick leave him. And I know you thought earlier in the conference final that Dominik was actually letting his stick go into traffic.
Yeah, he did it he did it early in the series against Getzlaf on a breakaway situation. Yeah, I think so. I think goaltenders realize, hey, you know what? That's the quickest way to stop the play. I can just pick it up.
This is May, who has had some chances, but Mazzaro sealed him to the glass, and it's flown back out for the glove down by Pronger, but the bring ahead by Fisher. Fisher, a shot, shrugged away by Giguère, and the rebound is picked up and thrown back out again by Pronger.
No second chance opportunity there.
Redden nearly with trouble. Bounced that one along. That's rescued by May. Nearly run to the ditch by Schaefer. May moved in, faked the blast, gave it over to O'Donnell, and a shot deflected away by Emery. More time for these guys, and they're earning it. Pronger will play this after it had been knocked down by a high stick, so the clock frozen with 3:13 to go in the second.
Oh, big bonus here for this line to be able to contribute and play 200 feet away from their goals. After the opportunity at one end, Giguère making the save. Pronger able to clear the puck, and then May, great presence. He had a chance to get the puck to net right away. He kind of pulled up for a second, and then Sean O'Donnell, Chris Pronger's partner, jumped into the play, and with Marchand standing right in front of Ray Emery, another offensive opportunity for the fourth line of the Ducks.
Oshamen's pass was away from the shrugged shoulder of Getzlaf. Laid around now for Phillips to play up the boards for control by Heatley. Wants to get to it, no luck. Just brushed up enough there by Beauchemin, but it has gotten along and played further for Alfredson. Able to twist away. He's got Heatley near the front. Alfredson, a forehand shot went off the leg of Beauchemin. Slugged by Volchenkov, but followed up by Beauchemin and rifled back out and through Rob Niedermeyer.
Good quick change here by Ottawa, Doc. They were able to get the top line of Spezza out there without the Paulson line out there, and they were able to keep the puck down low.
Official got tangled up in the play for a moment. Paulson is out there now, and it is played back along for Phillips. Off of Spezza. Moen with a shot, and that blocked by Volchenkov, who is staggered by that. Back to his feet, another try, blocked by Emery. Spezza run off. Beauchemin has it, works to the outside. Has Scott Niedermeyer and gives to him. Fakes and then shoots, and it popped high and is blocked aside by the glove of Emery, and the rebound. Is he able to cover? He is.
Oh, great athleticism by Ray Emery. That hopeless feeling of waiting for the puck to get to him. It never came. And then eventually just leaning over and stopping it. But the shot blocked by Anton Volchenkov after a giveaway by Jason Spezza. Not one, but two giveaways by Spezza. But the battle in front of the net. Paulson, well, he's trying to get free. Look at that. It ended up hitting Paulson going up and over Ray Emery. And once he realized it never got to him, Doc, his vision, he was able to keep his eyes on the puck, watched it all the way come up. What a battle in front of the net.
Mostly controlled aggression. Well, that's been the appeal of this sport to me for half a century.
Hey, it's
just a battle.
Your coach has to control the guys out there.
That's right. Net is dislodged with 2:02 to go in the second.
Outside, inside.
Faceoff will remain near Emery.
The blue lines are so important. You got to get the puck in. You got to get it out, especially out of your own zone. You got to make sure you can relieve the pressure. To chip it out, and the shot block leader in the playoffs, Anton Volchenkov. He knows that position after leading the regular season in shot blocks as well.
And you can tell that some of them hurt. That last one did. This away from Neal, and Pronger lobs it on back from center ice out of play, and so no penalty will come from this with 1:50 to go. This is the 99th game since early October for Anaheim, the 98th game for Ottawa. It is remarkable not only that they've gotten here, but they have gotten here largely healthy to compete in the Stanley Cup final.
So you need that. You need a little bit of luck. But it really is, though, Doc. I mean, Chris Kunitz, again, we talked about a little bit earlier. Such an important part, and maybe a lot of people didn't realize. And I think once he got hurt in Game 1 of the Detroit series, I think that had an effect, no question, on McDonald and Solani, because he's that effective type of player. But you know what? You need a little bit of everything to be able to get to this point in the season.
Heatley slipped that one to center, driven back in by Pronger again. Down to the last minute, 25 of this second. Scott Niedermayer kept that one, threw it just wide of the post, and back it came now for Heatley. But lost with a flip by Sammy Paulson, got in the way of that pass. Onside play, but eventually it's sent for Solani at center as players pour over the boards at the Ottawa bench. Dumped away from McCammon. Roaring back is Andy McDonald. Gave it to Solani. Save made by Emery. And the rebound took a great bounce for Ottawa. McCammon brings it right back and stashed one over for Heatley, but he goes to the bench. McCammon remaining back out. Drew Miller brings it ahead now for the Ducks. Run off by Patrick Eves. Phillips. And Miller runs into him. Volchenkov run into by Solani. Eves gave it across. Schubert settled it down. Went off the stick of O'Donnell, and the two go to the corner for it. Coming by as Eves. Could not get by Miller. Now McDonald with 25 to go in the period on to Solani. Drops it off for McDonald. Leads it ahead to Beauchemin. Beauchemin holds and then tried to play one around, but it's cut off now by the Senators and Patrick Eves. The Boston College product just lobs it right back in again.
Good recognition by both teams, Doc, recognizing the time on the clock, getting the pucks in deep, forcing defensemen to go back and turn.
Getzlaff with time, bounced off the bump from Comrie. One-timer ricocheted wide, and the horn sounds, and 40 minutes are in the books. Only 10 scoring chances total in the first, 25 here in the second, as things opened up a bit.
I think there's been opportunities that to get more pucks to the net. You got to make those decisions. It's either now or never. Quicker decisions, pucks to the net. People are there. Great 2 periods so far.
In Stone are power play goals from Comrie and Redden, and one by McDonald. Stay tuned for the Verizon Wireless Intermission Report. Clement, Messier, Engblom, and Jones all coming up after the break.
The Philips Norelco Smart Touch XL adjusts to your face for a closer shave with 50% more shaving surface and 3 shaving rings in each shaving head. Philips Norelco, the world's best-selling electric shaver. Simplicity is making every stroke count.
Feeling real good about lunch today. This new KFC biscuit bowl's got all my favorites. It's got chicken.
I got a burger.
Mashed potatoes.
Fries.
Got corn and gravy, cheese, and now it comes with a biscuit.
Well, I got a bun. It's kind of like a biscuit.
Not even a little bit.
Biscuit-esque.
No, it's not.
Introducing the new Chicken and Biscuit Bowl from KFC. Layers of mashed potatoes, sweet corn, all white meat chicken, new home-style white gravy, and a 3-cheese blend. And now it comes with a buttermilk biscuit. Dig into great layers of flavor with new KFC famous bowls.
Hi, Enterprise. I'm at the repair shop, and I need to rent a car.
At Enterprise, we'll arrange to pick you up free and get you on your way.
Nice save, Mom.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Because Geico sounds like gecko. That's it. That's the only reason I'm here. The fact is, if Geico sounded like some other animal, like, I don't know, a puma, sure enough, there'd be some adorable little cat sitting here talking about Geico's low rates.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You can't even imagine the pressure. I mean, I've literally got like 2 seconds to capture your attention while simultaneously informing you that you could save hundreds on car insurance by switching to Geico. Quite frankly, I don't think it's even possible.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
The quest for the Cup concludes in Anaheim. For the second time this decade, the Ducks return to the Stanley Cup Final. Now comes their toughest test as they push themselves beyond endurance. Led by the Niedermayer brothers and Teemu Selanne, this team is on the verge of claiming the greatest prize in sports, and with it, immortality. Follow the Ducks' quest on NBC and Versus and log on to NHL.com for complete coverage of the Stanley Cup Final.
It only weighs 35 pounds, but takes 20 men to lift it. The Stanley Cup Final exclusively on Versus, Wednesday, 7:30 Eastern.
I'm not doing this for the money.
I'm not doing this for the fame. I'm doing this because when I step in that cage, I hate you.
This is the Verizon Wireless NHL on Versus Intermission Report. Brought to you by Verizon Wireless, official wireless service provider of the NHL.
Two teams, 12 playoff wins each, and the first team to add 4 more W's will be the Stanley Cup champs. We've got a 2-1 hockey game in favor of the Ottawa Senators after 2. We welcome you to our Verizon Wireless Intermission Report. Clement, Jones, Engblom, Mark Messier is also with us. So Ottawa's power play is pretty well the story through 2 periods. They got both of their goals on the power play, but Brian, there are obvious elements of Ottawa's game plan that have been on display both periods.
Yeah, we talked about them wanting to move J.S. Giguère and get him moving in the crease from side to side, and they certainly have been able to do that at times. Now, Giguère's had good support in the middle of the ice a lot of times too, and Giguère's made some really good saves. But I want you to focus on the goaltender here and watch his path of how he has to track the puck. Anytime a goaltender has to start from behind, looking over his shoulder, it's never a good situation for him. Now the puck goes back to the point. He comes out at the shooter, and ended up going in the air. That was the first goal of the game on the power play. Then watch Ottawa again with good puck control, power play situation. That went off the crossbar. Giguère did a heck of a job to get over there in the first place. He still is scrambling. He gets back in position. Good possession and puck control again by the Ottawa Senators, and the perfect screen by Danny Heatley in front of the net. So Giguère was unable to do it. And then on other rush chances, the times that Ottawa came down, you can see exactly what they want to do. J.S. Giguère is the type of goaltender that goes down in the butterfly. He takes everything away from about the waist down. The only places that are open are right here. Ottawa is trying to go there. They haven't scored there yet because Giguère has been really good.
So the Ottawa players have learned the tendencies of Anaheim, but Mark Messier, is it not possible for a coach to deliver information overload this time of year and try to get his players to remember too many tendencies?
Well, it can, but I think for the most part, the coach's responsibility is to try to take away the team's strengths and look for the team's weaknesses. I think from a player standpoint there, the most important for them is to be able to think while he's on the ice, react to the situation there, all the while playing with a lot of instinct. So together there's a lot of information that the players have to process in a shorter period of time when they're out there, but the game plan is very important there, so I don't think it can be overcoached at this time of year.
It happens pretty quickly when you're on the ice. That's why mistakes happen, but I guess this time of year, Jonesy, the idea is to understand that mistakes happen. When they do happen, don't panic moving forward.
And a lot of that comes from your coaching staff. That's one thing that Randy Carlyle has a great feel for, knowing who's got their skating legs and getting them on the ice. In this hockey game, Brad May, he admittedly said he made a mistake by not getting that puck in deep. He did. The Anaheim Ducks come out and kill the 5-on-3 power play opportunity against them. Brad May back on the ice, sets up a scoring opportunity, has another scoring opportunity of his own. He's only credited with 1 shot on goal. He's got 3 hits, but he had 3 scoring chances in the slot area. He's got his legs going. Carlyle not afraid to use them, knowing that a veteran player is not going to be intimidated in the situation in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Back in the first period, Mike Comrie scored the first goal of the game for the Sens, and he's with Bob Harwood.
Bill, thank you very much. Mike, it seemed like you were deliberate in the start of both periods, actually, really initiating physical play. How important was that to set a tone?
Well, we know they're a good hockey team, so our work ethic is going to dictate the play. And I think that with 9 days off, we wanted to come out hard, and we started the game off well.
For you, it had a lot to do with life in the blue paint and actually taking a beating from all around you. Do you know well enough how to survive in there? I mean, you're always a threat with the puck, but that's scary territory.
Yeah, especially against some of their bigger defensemen, but you got to battle, especially this time of the year. You know, it's fun to be playing right now, and you know, a few cross checks and bumps will heal over the summer.
Even in traffic. Mike, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay, Bill.
Bob, thank you very much. Ray Emery, the Ottawa Senators, now has 2 periods of Cup final experience. 10 shots against him in the second. Stopped them all. Back in a sec.
That hurt? Nah. You're all right. We'll put a little ice on it. It's no big deal.
You wouldn't make it in the NHL. But you can get inside with VCast. Watch highlights, interviews, and everything hockey. Exclusively from Verizon Wireless.
säger det.
Let's go outside, get a breath of fresh air. Let's go outside, where I can kiss you on the lips, underneath the night.
Let's go outside. Coleman, the outdoor company.
Get in gear this summer. Enter the Coleman Great Gear Giveaway. For details, visit Coleman.com.
Boum, quand notre cœur fait boum, tout avec lui dit boum, et c'est l'amour qui s'éveille. Boum, il chante Loving Bloom, au rythme de ce boum, quand notre cœur fait boum, 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 c'est notre boum.
Robbie Knievel buses and a canyon, a jet engine, and a double world record jump in the making. Sounds like he is about to come out. There he goes. Oh, yeah. It's a terrible scene, ladies and gentlemen. He is on fire. Robbie! Oh, my God. Robbie. There's Robbie over there. Robbie, let me just ask you a quick question. What happened? Did someone talk some sense into you?
No, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
And you're sure you shouldn't go with a fixed-rate home loan?
Oh, yeah. You're gonna love that variable rate.
Congratulations, you have a home loan.
But my home loan left me with a bad feeling. And then my interest rate went crazy and got really expensive.
You need a Capital One home loan.
You're not kidding.
Keep the monkey off your back. Call Capital One Home Loans and get a fixed rate below prime. Plus, lower your payments an average of $400 a month.
What's in your wallet?
Game one of the Stanley Cup Final from the home of the Western Conference champion Anaheim Ducks. Ottawa's leading 2-1 at the end of the second period. And fans, just a reminder that Verizon Wireless, the official wireless provider of the NHL, brings you inside the playoffs with highlights and player interviews. Our very own Versus Night in Review. It's all on your VCast phone exclusively from Verizon Wireless. Mark Messier is going to be back with us on Wednesday night for Game 2. Mark, that is the night we're going to announce the overall season winner for the leadership award that you have. That's for excellence on the ice and community service off the ice. And I understand, my sources have told me that it's not one of the 5 guys that has won one of the months.
Throughout the year there, the people at Cold FX and NHL there come together to create this award. But I think I didn't realize how tough it was going to be to try to create the award every segment. Coming up with an overall winner this year was very tough, and I think we've got a winner there that is going to make a lot of people happy.
You got to have legs. You got to have conditioning to make those decisions.
I tell you what, it's a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure.
You're used to it. We'll see what happens on Wednesday night. It's all you on Wednesday night. In that second period in spurts, it was all Sens. Wade Redden's power play goal has the Senators ahead as we move to the third.
Tony Stewart here with my buddy Jared. Subway restaurants are known for tasty, low-fat subs, like this 6-inch sweet onion chicken teriyaki. At 5 grams of fat, it's a third the fat of a McDonald's snack wrap. And look at it. It's a lot more food. Fills me up without slowing me down. So, Tony, would you say that makes Subway restaurants your favorite pit stop? The tasty 6-inch sweet onion chicken teriyaki from Subway restaurants. A third the fat of a McDonald's snack wrap. And a lot more food. Fills me up without slowing me down. Subway, race hard, eat fresh.
I'm Sue, and I live here in this apartment building, and this is our garden. When I first got here, this was full of weeds and absolutely no color. My guys at Home Depot help me with everything from condition of the soil to what grows best in what light. The garden, it makes friendships. It's brought a sense of community to the building that we're sharing. Go plant something and watch it grow. If you grow good things in your garden and in your life, then you're surrounded by beauty.
Maxiderm works exactly as they said it would.
You literally start feeling it in under 60 seconds.
She actually bought it for me. Now I'm a big believer.
It's never been better. Male enhancement doesn't always mean there's a problem. Maxiderm is for any man or couple that's looking for more. Customers report that it starts working in under 60 seconds, so you can see more, feel more, and enjoy more.
We're so confident you'll love Maxiderm that we're offering trials absolutely free. There's never been a better way to experience instant male enhancement.
What a big difference.
Big.
I've been married for 19 years, and with Maxiderm, my wife and I are enjoying the best intimacy ever.
Not everybody needs a prescription. That's why we created Maxiderm, the instant male enhancement formula that can make a big difference today. Delivered privately, right to your door.
Agents are standing by during this limited offer. It's never been easier to try Maxiderm free. Call now for your free trial.
Welcome back, everybody. Ottawa ahead of Anaheim 2-1 in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. Both of Ottawa's goals coming on the power play. Mark, how long do you think it took one Anaheim player in the locker room at the end of the second to say, guys, we got to stay out of the box?
They're lucky to get that period down 2-1, I thought. 3 of the 5 penalties they've taken so far, I think, have been retaliation penalties. At this time of year, there's no room to give away goals. There's no time to give away games there by bad mistakes and bad penalties there. It's going to be tough for them to win this series there if they continue to take the penalties they did in that second period.
And the problem that it adds to when they take penalties again, went back to this in the Detroit series, it affects Teemu Selanne and Andy McDonald. They're playing about 5 minutes less so far than the #1 line of Ottawa because Selanne and McDonald don't kill penalties. So it's not just the fact that they have to kill the penalties and be afraid of that, but it takes some of their best players out of the sync, out of the rotation, and doesn't give them enough time to get something going offensively.
8.5 minutes for Teemu Selanne in the first 2 periods is not going to do it for Anaheim. They need him on the ice there, and he's going to have to play 8 minutes at more this period for them to get back in the game.
I'll give the Ottawa Senators a lot of credit. When they got on the power play, regardless of how they got there, they were a picture of poise.
Yeah, boy, can they move the puck around. They've got a tremendous amount of ability. They've got traffic in front of the net as well. Screening, Danny Heatley did a great job as well. For the Ottawa Senators, the Ducks, like Mark said, have to stay on the box, but they've always had a bend and not break mentality. They'll come back in this period. They'll get their chances. It would not surprise me to see them tie it up early.
There you go. You have it from Keith Jones. The Ottawa Senators in the playoffs are 9-1 when leading at the end of 2. That's what they have, the Eastern Conference champs, as we move forward to the 3rd period here at Honda Center in Anaheim.
Here we go.
Some perfection is debatable. Some is not. Patron, the world's #1 ultra premium tequila. Simply perfect. Please drink responsibly.
When I took the job, I had every ambition that one day I would rule the world. I had no idea that first I'd have to circle it. About 10 times. Making the sale makes me jump out of bed in the morning. I just have to remember where I am that day. I work because I'm driven. I work to close the deal.
Whether it's a job or a career, when it's right, it's a passion. Go to Monster.com today and find the job that works for you.
Monster works for me.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
The neighbor's dog had pups, and he was kind enough to give one to my daughter, Molly. Now we're off to get food, bowls, chew toys, a brush, bedding, which reminds me of something my father once told me. There is no such thing as a free puppy.
Time to sit, stay, and save at Tractor Supply. Through June 24th, get a $20 gift card when you buy $50 of pet products, like an AKC kennel, pedigreed dog food, or Tidy Cat litter. The stuff you need out here is in here. Tractor Supply.
This has been the Verizon Wireless NHL on Versus Intermission Report. Brought to you by Verizon Wireless, official wireless service provider of the NHL.
So the third period about to start. Senators 2 and the Ducks 1. As Eddie Olczyk proved, because he played for the Blackhawks on 2 different occasions, you can reverse your field and go back again. Mike Fisher got the first goal. After Mike Comrie had it, lost it, got it back. He's lost it again. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final is available in HD, brought to you by Toshiba HD DVD. So it's officially now Fisher and Redden, as anyone knows, and Andy McDonald for Anaheim. Your thoughts on 2 periods?
Well, I think for Ottawa, they've certainly gained the momentum because of the specialty teams. 2 power play goals. They're 2 for 2 in the PK. I think 5-on-5, Anaheim's had the majority of the play. So what a great penalty kill, 5-on-3 for a minute and 35. Anaheim did a great job, so they're still in this game.
We heard from Tom Pricing at the end of the first period, and Ryan Getzlaf also wearing a microphone for us tonight. Mic'd Up, brought to you by Bud Light.
Franz, here we go. You got the draw, bud.
Under the puck, under the puck. Let's go.
My line's out there. Go on, Mayday. Here's Perry. I need a right winger. Wait. Yeah, I got center. I got centerman.
Well, lots of talking there by Ryan Getzlaf. The communication on the bench, making sure that they knew who he had, and then on that one faceoff, telling Timo Solani he's got the faceoff.
Mark Messier was making the point in the intermission about the limited time that Teemu Solani has had out on the ice. Through 2 periods, 9 and change out of 40 minutes, about a quarter of the ice time. Usually he gets more, power play or not. As this one is shoveled back in for Daniel Alfredsson. Challenged there by Scott Niedermayer and wedged right away, but to Danny Heatley. Four on 2, but offside going in.
A good recognition there by Scott Niedermayer. He realized that they had numbers, but unfortunately ended up going offside. Talk about ice time, Doc, for the big 2 on the blue line for the Anaheim Ducks. Chris Pronger, 18:51. Scott Niedermayer, 17:24.
Just looking to see if any forwards, maybe you can take a look too, had wound up with more, because we just got the sheet late. Whether they had any more than Solani did. 9:45 may be an impressive number compared to other forwards. And the fact that Brad May and his gang were earning a lot of time may have cut into that as well.
The checking line, Paulson, Mullen, Rob Niedermayer, Doc, 12 plus. Getzlaf, because of the penalty killing situation, he's up to 13 minutes.
Mike Fisher tried to work in. Drew Miller's run off by Fisher, but recovered. Sent it on, and Volchenkov pinched along there. Worked on by Schaefer and scaled around behind for Mike Comrie. Little pass in front, and Schaefer was at the front of the net, couldn't control. And then the pass came right back past him. And Sean O'Donnell takes over there and lobs one that skipped on to be played further and carried ahead by the Ducks and Teemu Solani. Solani a drive, and that one blocked right down, and lifting his leg after that one is hurt was Volchenkov.
7th block shot of the game for Volchenkov.
And he blocked this one with his stick. Kelly lobs it ahead, carried on by Vermette. Worked back up the wing, trying to get through was Neal, couldn't. Vermette slipped one that went off of Dustin Penner. Oh, and a healthy hit there, and skidding to the ice afterward was Neal. Brought on by Getzlaf, looks ahead for Perry, lays a little pass for him, but he'd gone in early. Delayed offside is wiped, is right back with it comes Chris Neal. Drops it on to Vermette for a shot that's blocked away. Chris Pronger got in the way of that one. The lanes have been pretty well protected by the defenders in particular. This one is held behind now for control by Tom Pricing on a feed from his goalie Ray Emery. Banked on ahead. The shots are 18-13, 10-9 Anaheim in the second. Schubert with a backhander, blocked and then covered by Giguère.
We talked about the defense for both teams, but Anton Volchenkov with 273 block shots.
in the regular season, average of 3.5. He's doubled that here. Just over 2 periods. They're getting in that shooting lane. Right off the outside of the left skate. He goes through about, I'm sorry, probably about 5 or 6 ice bags a night.
And after the game, even more, right?
Exactly.
Redden turning back. Volchenkov's father, Alexei, was a member of the great Red Army teams in the Soviet Union back in the 1970s. They have corrected this goal, and that's the value of videotape. Look back and make sure the right guy gets it.
Yeah, Comrie with the pass. And then the shot by Mike Fisher, clearly. There's the stick of Comrie trying to touch the puck. Mike Fisher in the celebration.
Another Senators face-off win. Lobbed on back for Pronger. Pronger, the long toss, and the take by Solani. Deals it on back. Andy McDonald with it there. Step by one. Forehander, blocked down. And then Emery in a scramble is able to hang on to it. Shoot the puck, drive the net. That's what they did.
A good play there by Chris Pronger. The Senators in the middle of a change, but the recognition to move the puck. Transition, defense to offense. Pronger to Solani. And then he bought some time as he entered, and then the shot by Andy McDonald. Quite a bit of a rebound there, but Solani not able to get the stick on it as Wade Redden did a good job. But there's a play. Watch the pass, the play there. Between the stick and the skate of Spezza, and McDonald was able to take that shot, skating one way and shooting back the other way.
Rob Niedermeyer reached in, got that one freed up. Turnarounder by Paulson, went off Spezza. Pronger hacked one there, followed up by Mazzaros. And tapped on out as they try to reach Spezza with a pass that fails, but it's settled by Heatley and flown back in. So Pronger and Scott Niedermeyer. They and Boscheman are the 3 men who play over 30 minutes average time per game. Pronger and Niedermeyer out there together right now. Follow-up from Daniel Alfredson, pushed near the referee, but taken along by Joe Corbo. Banked on out to center, and it's cut off by Scott Niedermeyer again. The Kings experimented with Joe Corbo as a forward. Didn't work out too well. Defense is his position, and he's been strong. He's one of the top 5 point getters on this Ottawa team, as holding on again is Ray Emery.
It has to do with being on the #1 power play unit with the Spezza, Heatley, Alfredson line, Doc. High risk, high reward when you have a guy like Joe Corbo. Look at the quality compared to the quantity. Talk about the big 3, Boscheman, Niedermeyer, Pronger for the Ducks, and you think about the Ottawa Senators, you have the top defensive pair, Volchenkov and Phillips. Very rarely Phillips will ever get there on a power play, so their quality by this time is matching up against the top lines for the opponents. Killing penalties, being out there in key situations.
Well, they're out there right now as this is lobbed back in by Boscheman. Stymied was Solani as Fisher reaches in. Little help came, and moving in was Peter Schaefer to pop that one high. Solani jostles there with Volchenkov. Solani with it. Quick shot by Miller. Rebound hipped away from the try by McDonald, and he couldn't get much on it as it sailed right back in and off the glass. Poked along and off of Schaefer. Time Vancouver Canucks battles for that. It's stripped away from Comrie. Followed up on the outside by Fisher. Nice pass back for Volchenkov, and the shot had to be blocked by Giguère. Good confidence-building game for the Ottawa Senators, who had been such a long time without playing. Since a week ago Saturday, when in Game 5 in Buffalo, Alfredson won in overtime. Spiked back in by Spezza and slowed down by Giguère again. Over 4.5 played in this third period as a pass is rifled ahead to Corey Perry. Moving up the wing with a wrist shot. Pat stop Emery. Rebound kicked off of Penner as he was doing a 360 spun by the defense. Battled for behind, and Perry couldn't come up with it. Pitched on but kept by Penner. Right back to a glove, and then having the glove whacked that time. And Penner fed one back across. Chris Kelly still shaking his hand for the moment after having gotten whacked by Penner's stick. Meanwhile, Perry trickled one around behind, and coming by to pinch in as O'Donnell jostled off there by Vermette, but he got it. Flopped it around behind, and Perry defended by Joe Corbo. Corbo able to bank it off the short glass and down.
The second line for the Ducks taking advantage of the third pair out there, Pricing and Corbo creating some offense.
Wade Redden glides ahead. Lloydminster, Saskatchewan native, saw that one flipped right back along and brought on by Perry. Perry across to Getzlaf. Backhander, score!
Well, Doc, you remember the chance by Andy McDonald, the transition from Pronger to Solani, defense to offense. Rick Jackman moves the puck right away. And Perry gets it to Getzlaf. Brad May going hard to the net. You heard Keith Jones talk about Brad May, how well he has played, where he goes hard to the net. Not a great goal to give up by Ray Emery, but the backhand by Ryan Getzlaf. Speed to the outside, transition in the neutral zone, push the defense back, tied up at 2.
Mazzaro's banked it ahead. They are just now settling back into their seats here at Honda Center. Patrick Eaves is run off by May. And so now a little bigger are the Ducks. As back ahead now comes a shot by Eaves that went up high off Jaguar and is cleared on back to center. Stumbling as he went back, but retrieving his Volchenkov. And a Senator was in the way of that puck as he was trying to get onto the ice. Was still sitting on the railing, and the fans are booing that, thinking there should have been too many men.
There was Jason Spezza.
And now a penalty is coming up, and it's going to be on the Senators. Delayed call on Niedermeyer, a shot that is blocked away, and the Senators touch, and they'll be shorthanded. A slash. Getzlaf's backhander. Will it be the last one for the Ducks? They got the power play.
Okay, now what?
Rock, paper, scissors for it?
Okay.
That's fair.
On 3?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
I threw paper. I threw a rock.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Low 5.
In today's episode, we'll show you how to return a favor to the cable guy.
He said he'd be here between the hours of 1 and 5. Here it is, 6:30. Where you been?
Where's your cable come in?
Up on the roof. As fate would have it, we're wearing the Hager work-to-weekend khakis. And with the do-it-to-it waistband, I can move this heavy ladder with ease and comfort.
Hey, let me down.
We will, sometime between the hours of 7 and 11. Probably closer to 12:30. And that there is a fine example of making things right.
We got just what you need to keep your yard beautiful and weed-free. Let's start with fertilizer.
We're here because we've been there with the tools, products, and advice to get it done right. True Value. Start right. Start here.
Back in Anaheim, 2-2 tie. Ryan Miller, Buffalo goaltender. Drew Miller, Anaheim forward. I imagine the emotions of not being here, but still being able to come here are kind of a great feeling right now.
Yeah, families first. And when Drew came out of the tunnel before the anthem, I almost started crying. And you know, he really deserves this right now, and I'm here for him. And when they scored that first goal, he was on the ice. I was out of my chair. But you know,
second time around, you didn't explode as much. I imagine, Ryan, that it's tough, in spite of your brother playing, to cheer for any other team.
I want to see him do well, and he's doing a great job, and I'm really proud of him.
It's great to see you here. Have a great summer, Ryan. Thanks. Okay, guys.
Schubert, the penalty. Power play on for the Ducks. Solani feeds. Shot by Getzlaf, deflected wide. Played on by Volchenkov, picked up by Marchand. Marchand spun it right back. Getzlaf holding there. Around in front, Solani! And he couldn't get a good shot away. Blocked aside by Emery and cleared back out.
Right before the chance for Timo Solani. 2 great chances for Ryan Getzlaf. From the right side to the left side, him being a right-hander looking for a one-timer.
Variety big box, KFC power play, brought ahead by Getzlaf, lost by Scott Niedermeyer. No matter, it was offside anyway.
Really feel the emotion there for Ryan Miller, talking about his younger brother, Drew, getting his opportunity to play his second playoff game, first Stanley Cup game. Boy, the face-off win by the Ducks enabled them to sustain that pressure, Doc, before Ottawa was able to clear the puck.
Volchenkov goes back. Penner there. Perry jostled off and hit the glass heavily. Played by McDonald and given to Pronger. Back to McDonald again. Penner standing in front of Emery. To Pronger and across. Perry a shot deflected off of the goaltender Emery, and it went wide. Cleared all the way back down, and with 50 seconds to go, the Senators will make another change. Brought back ahead by Pronger. Very deliberate with the pass across. Nice spike of the puck away by Mazzaros so that McDonald could not get in. Back on with it. Now comes Perry. Could not step away from the defense. Good work by Phillips, and he sent him flying. McDonald dumped one to the front. Diving play to get it in front. McDonald, the backhander, scrambled there as it went off. Emery still there looking. It's whacked away at it. It came loose, and then Emery covered with the glove. And now a skirmish of players around the net.
Scramble happened because Ray Emery did not know that Mike Fisher was coming back to pick up the loose puck. I don't know if there was any communication at all, but all Fisher had to do was call off Emery and grab the puck right here. Look at nobody around, and Emery goes to Pochek. Now it's a mad scramble. McDonald sees a puck. Oh, Emery, great presence there to grab the puck, and then Perry with a cross check to Andre Mazzaros.
Great work by Volchenkov to not only cover up for his goaltender, but to show all of us from the goal cam how persistent he was on that play that fell apart on the Senators, but did not result in a goal. 20 seconds to go, still on the power play, and Solani will take this face-off. He and Antoine Vermette for the Senators. Every stat but on the scoreboard favoring Anaheim right now. This is a face-off win by Solani. Back to Pronger. Pronger gives on to Scott Niedermayer. Dealt it to the side, but it hopped off Marchand. Retrieved by Solani. Finesse move came right back to him, and he recovered well back to Getzlaf. Then Pronger, then Solani. Bounce near Volchenkov, but Solani is able to swirl. Fires one that's deflected wide around behind Marchand. Run into by Phillips. Meanwhile, the puck came right back to him again. Little trouble for him, but he's able to emerge and play one ahead now for Vermette. Schubert off of Solani. Clock ticks down to the last 11:05 of the third in a 2-2 tie, and the teams are 5 aside in front of their goalkeeper. Daniel Alfredson back. Shouldered off by Moore. Puck taken by Redden. Lays it ahead, and cleanly it's brought on by Spezza. Off of May, near Alfredson. The two of them tangle. Bounces near Scott Niedermayer, taken by Spezza. Brad May steps right in and got it. Laid it back across, and it's brought on now by Beauchemin. Given on back to Marchand. Flipped it, or checked that Moen, flipped it back in. Oh, Mazzaros run to the ditch by Rob Niedermayer. Then Alfredson. Kicked away by Rob Niedermayer. Paulson has a man in front. It's Moen! Save made by Emery! Centering pass, blocked aside. Picked up by Paulson, and a shot. Save Emery. Rebound forced away by Mazzaros. Helter-skelter now. Scott Niedermayer, a shot went off a stick wide. Played along now by Beauchemin. Able to pivot away. Everyone's standing here. Beauchemin's shot flies high and popped wide. Paulson reached in on by Spezza. Canceled it along for Redden. Lobs it ahead to Alfredson. Looks ahead for Heatley, but that one squibbed back down, and we get a stoppage of play and a penalty call. Interference is the call, and the Ducks fans are thrilled. 2-2.
Because Geico sounds like Gecko. That's it. That's the only reason I'm here. The fact is, if Geico sounded like some other animal, like, I don't know, a puma, sure enough, there'll be some adorable little cat sitting here talking about Geico's low rates.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You can't even imagine the pressure. I mean, I've literally got like 2 seconds to capture your attention while simultaneously informing you that you could save hundreds on car insurance by switching to Geico. Quite frankly, I don't think it's even possible.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hey, these guys joined my team and lost weight.
Mike Golick, 51 pounds. Scott Conover, 100 pounds.
Hey, Marino, I lost 32 pounds.
Get real results with Nutrisystem for men.
You know, my wife told me I'm not as disgusting to her as I used to be.
Call or go online now to get 4 weeks of awesome food. And through this special offer, you'll automatically receive your order once every 4 weeks. And you can get an extra 2 weeks of meals free.
Burgers, pizzas, lasagna, pot roast.
Our secret is the breakthrough science of the glycemic advantage that separates good carbs from bad. Now carbs are no longer off limits.
Nutrisystem worked for me. Trust me, it'll work for you.
About $10 a day gets you 4 full weeks of rib-sticking meals.
Pick up the phone and lose weight.
Order our 4-week men's program and you can get an extra 14 breakfasts, lunches, dinners, and desserts, a full 2 weeks of food absolutely free. Call now to find out how.
Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final on Versus is brought to you by refreshingly smooth Bud Light, always worth it, and by Verizon Wireless, official wireless service provider of the NHL.
Pretty peaceful there. Not here. Lazzaro's interference. Just past the halfway point of the third.
Well, the giveaway by Daniel Alfred to Samuel Paulson. And Wade Reddick got away with a hook on Travis Mullen. But that play all started because of the physical play by Niedermeyer and Mullen.
It's Getzlaf coming up with it. Fed it to the back and Pronger. Then Scott Niedermeyer. Laid around to the outside. Marchand sped it back. Pronger there across now to Solani. Solani a drive, and it went off of Emery and wide. Solani able to play it again as Getzlaf nearby, gave it to Scott Niedermeyer, surrounded by white and black. Work to the outside, now back to Pronger. Drive, and that one is blocked back down, painfully so to center. Oh my, if it just be out. Chris Kelly who's on the way of that one. Stays in the play, Getzlaf moving in, getting a piece of it with his pad was Emery. Great opportunity for the Ducks to break the tie. Getzlaf moves in again. Fed it to the back to Pronger. Minute 15 to go, power play. Scott Niedermeyer set one side of the net. It bounced off of Solani. He was trying to connect on a passing play, and it wouldn't go. Fresh troops are out there for the Senators now. They get Mike Fisher out, and Redden, and Schubert. Also out is Schaefer, as peeling off with this now and turning is Andy McDonald. Spins and has Beauchemin, got it back to him. Across it sent now to Pronger. The big man at 6'6" plays it across. The pass back, though, is deflected back out again. In a good play by Schaefer.
Yeah, he did. He recognized the puck was bouncing on Perry. Pressure, time and space, able to clear his own.
Schaefer slowed him down a little bit there, but now Pronger is able to bring it ahead as we near the last half minute of this power play. Important time in the game for the Ducks. Game 1, and it's tied at 2. They got back into this in the third period with the tying goal from Getzlaf on a neat backhander, but here is Perry with it now. Perry around behind, banks it to a vacant point. 15 to go, and Beauchemin has to regather. He and Jackman out for the last rush. Penner comes to the bench. McDonald remains out as it's brought ahead by Beauchemin. Left behind, regathered, and stoked off of Volchenkov for Ottawa, who just trickles it back in. Only one shot on that power play for the Ducks. Under 8 to go. Third period regulation time. This is grabbed off by Alfredson, but left behind. Overskated by a pair, whipped back in, though, by Moen. Volchenkov there as it's twisted away by him. Along for Vermette. Challenge there. It came from Sammy Paulson. Bounced on back and is protected at the point for a swing and a miss to the corner by Volchenkov. Drilled one along that Scott Niedermeyer kept. Backhanded one that's canceled out by Neal. Played along by Moen. Hit there by Chris Phillips. Played to the outside once again by the Ducks, and on for Scott Niedermeyer to trickle around behind. Moen, the big man, hands on to Rob Niedermeyer. Then back to Scott Niedermeyer. Blasted one on a passing combination that didn't kick like it would for Chris Kelly. To the corner, it's played now by Volchenkov.
Good shift here, Doc, for the checking line of the Ducks, but that was against the Chris Kelly line. Now here comes the Alfredson line without the checking line of the Ducks.
2 players cancel, and a penalty is coming up. Paul Dvorsky has spotted one. A hooking call. And it is all very quiet here because it is one of the Ducks who will go. And Scott Niedermayer is the guy.
Stick in the midsection. Little simple play there by Chris Kelly to get the puck in deep and draw the penalty.
He will sit. Wednesday, we'll all be right back here in Anaheim for Game 2 of the 2007 Stanley Cup Final. Coverage begins with a quest for the Cup at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, only on Versus. 2 power play goals for the Senators tonight. Under 7 minutes to go in the third. The big guns are out there. Quick changes of possession. And it is laid back out. Marchand will not get there first, but second. Redden plays on to Joe Corvo. Spezza and Alfredson and Heatley. All the credentialed players are out there now for the Senators. Brought ahead by Alfredson. Handed on to Heatley. Lob back in. Going for it is Alfredson. Twisted along by Beauchemin for Anaheim. Back to the point where it's held by Redden, who walks it across. Wade Redden turns it on to Alfredson again. Looking toward the front. Alfredson sent it around behind. Played there by Heatley across. Corvo, a shot deflected and it rattled off the outside of the cage. And cleared past Redden and down.
Good play there by Ryan Getzlaf. He came back all the way down low to give Francois Beauchemin and out. Came all the way down about 30 feet. Nice little soft area passing. Was able to clear it down.
Beauchemin and O'Donnell and Paulson and Rob Niedermayer on the kill. Blasted back in by Redden again. Mike Fisher's unit is out there, along with Comrie and Schaefer. Rob Niedermayer flipped one. Corvo kept it, and then is shoved down by Rob Niedermayer. Meanwhile, we get a halt to play. The puck had come back outside. Offside with 51 seconds still to go on the kill.
Well, the Ottawa Senators very good on the power play to this point. Both goals on the power play. Recognition, Mike Comrie moving the puck from one side to the other to shot by Mike Fisher after a pass from Andre Mazzaros. Fisher credited with the goal. Jason Spezza, quick puck movement, traffic in front. Jaguar with no stick. Those are both the goals for the Sens on the power play.
2 shots this period for Ottawa. But you don't win or lose games by that category or any of the others that we enjoy sharing with you. It is only the one you see at the top of your screen. Half a minute to go on the power play, and Fisher took a hit, took a second one, got some help from Schaefer to filter it along. Nice outlet, though, across to Rob Niedermayer by Sammy Paulson. He picks up Pronger now. Rob Niedermayer, a shot that is stopped and then covered by Emery, and he got a stray stick from Pronger. And Tom Preissing says, hey, didn't you see that? You're arguing for next time, of course.
Absolutely. A little bit of politicking going on, but you made mention, Doc, the play by Samuel Paulson in his own zone. The patience, knowing he had support by Rob Niedermayer, and then the recognition by Chris Pronger to jump into the play on a 2-on-2 situation.
Well, so much for the notion of the teams not knowing one another and kind of feeling each other out for the first game. That didn't last very long at all. Here's Neal moving in, and it's called back on an offside. 12 seconds to go still on the Sens power play.
It doesn't take very long. Read the papers, watch the television. The best from the East against the best from the West.
You have to win 16 in 8 weeks in a collision sport. Players from other sports are always marveling at how these guys are even upright by this point. Blasted back in. When the Ducks lost in 03, one of the New Jersey Devils who won, John Madden, said, it was the latter part of July before I woke up in the morning and didn't hurt someone. That was about 6 weeks after his team had won. Here is Vermette feeding one, and that one chopped away, swung around by Neal, and it went wide. Volchenkov tried to pop it further, could not. Yanked around by Vermette. Forced back away from Neal. Vermette got there, though. Vermette feeds across for a shot by Kelly that's blocked aside by Jaguar. Sent around behind by Phillips. Protected very well by Kelly. Back to Phillips for a shot deflected wide. Vermette got a piece of it. Volchenkov took the hit, flipped it on further. Scott Niedermayer stepped into him heavily. Meanwhile, a wraparound by Neal is shut off by Jaguar. Another try, and it's skittered wide as Kelly didn't have good control. Now knocked down is Neal. From his knees tries to play. Help came from Vermette across to Scott Niedermayer. Lobbed one on out off a glove to center. 4 minutes seconds to go. Regulation as of now. Played back in by Phillips. Around it comes. Drew Miller is chased off by Heatley. Redden arrives from the bench at center to stop that one. He and Mazzaro's out on defense as this one is pitched right back in again for Pronger to take. Out there with Kent Huskins on defense now. Played for Solani. Hoped to get it to him. Standing in the way was Redden, and he took it right away. Fed one across. Backhanded by Heatley is spiked away by Jaguar. Heatley again turning. Huskins held him off so that the Ducks could escape with it. Under 3.5 separating these two teams from a sudden death overtime period or more. It is Solani dueling there with Redden. Puck came right back out in front. O'Donnell fed one in front. Off Albertson. Backhander. Oh, and it nearly found its way underneath the crossbar. And cleared, and a buzz going through the crowd on an icing touch up. My goodness, 3:07 to go. Third period. It's tied.
When I took the job, I had every ambition that one day I would rule the world. I had no idea that first I'd have to circle it. About 10 times. Making the sale makes me jump out of bed in the morning. I just have to remember where I am that day. I work because I'm driven. I work to close the deal.
Whether it's a job or a career, when it's right, it's a passion. Go to Monster.com today and find the job that works for you.
Monster works for me.
Bethan!
WU.
Your cell phone bill is what's up. All this texting.
OMG, INBD.
It is a big deal. Who are you texting 50 times a day?
IDK, my BFF Jill.
Tell your BFF Jill that I'm taking away your phone.
TISNF.
Me paying this bill, that's what's SNF.
Now too much texting is NBD. AT&T brings you unlimited texting, just $5 more a month. Now get half off all Samsung phones. Singular's name is now AT&T.
Feeling real good about lunch today. This new KFC biscuit bowl's got all my favorites. It's got chicken.
I got a burger.
Mashed potatoes.
Fries.
Got corn and gravy, cheese, and now it comes with a biscuit.
Well, I got a bun. It's kind of like a biscuit.
Not even a little bit.
Biscuit-esque.
No, it's not.
Introducing the new Chicken and Biscuit Bowl from KFC. Layers of mashed potatoes, sweet corn, all white meat chicken, new home-style white gravy, and a 3-cheese blend. And now it comes with a buttermilk biscuit. Dig into great layers of flavor with new KFC famous bowls.
Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final on Versus is brought to you by Monster.com. Post your resume on Monster.com and let Monster work for you. And by AT&T, the new leader in wireless. And by Esurance. Make it your goal to save on auto insurance. Visit Esurance.com today.
Same guys as started up front. Long time ago. The missiles of Spezza and Alfredson and Heatley against the Antis. Paulson, Rob Niedermeyer, Travis Moen, who were it not for Daniel Alfredson might have broken the tie. Scott Niedermeyer stokes it around. Moen there, shoved by Redden. The ex-Blackhawk bounced right off and played it back to Scott Niedermeyer, then off Moen and around to Rob Niedermeyer. Rammed there by Mazzaro's, bounced off. Got it for Moen! Score!
Well, the checking line gets on the score sheet. Andre Mazzaros takes a run at Rob Niedermeyer. He misses. Now it's a bad scramble. But Travis Moen, who had that great opportunity before the last commercial break, hits a bouncing puck. Rob Niedermeyer just directs it towards Travis Moen. But Andre Mazzaros, he ran out of position to try to make the big hit. And Niedermeyer got body position on. Then it's a mad scramble. Spezza came back to try to help him defend. Nobody covering in the high slot. Perfect shot off a tough puck to hit off the rolling pass by Niedermeyer.
Tom Pricing chipped it ahead. Mike Fisher couldn't settle it down. Teemu Solani could and handed it on back. Virtually everybody here is standing and still 2.5 to go in regulation. For Travis Moen, goal number 5 of these playoffs. A hulking big winger on a most important line that's more defensively oriented. Bouncer settled again by Solani and shunted back out. Only the safe plays now. Another change in lines for the Ducks. Scott Niedermayer forced off by Mike Fisher. Oh, and a pass across. Tipped aside by Beauchemin. Played along by Comrie. Grabbed by Andy McDonald. Floated along, and Corbo flipped one that settled by Beauchemin again. Coming by his pricing, knife from him, and Penner played it back out. Corey Perry going after this. Corbo up with it. Perry a shot directed away, and into the mesh by Ray Emery.
O'Brien Murray going with this offensive defenseman, Pricing and Corbo. And Travis Moen, the goal scorer to give the Ducks a 1-goal lead. First responsibility, Randy Carlyle tells his checking line, Travis Moen, Rob Niedermayer, Sammy Paulson, don't get scored on. And if you chip in, it's a bonus.
Hockey Central, presented by Esurance, after the game. We'll keep an eye on Ray Emery. Tendency seems to have been in these playoffs, as we've noticed in the conference finals, is to pull the goaltender a little earlier than the textbook might say. Emery is at the hash marks now, as escaping with it now as Spezza. His pass, though, is right to the path of Paulson. Steers it ahead, and Moen, the hero right now, flips it back in and burrows in, hoping to get it. Healed off to watch Phillips play it. Emery back out to the hash marks. Brought ahead by Phillips and lobbed back in. Emery now comes charging to the bench, the net empty. 6 attackers now for Ottawa trying to tie it. Poked the line by Volchenkov. Slipped one further off the glove of Marchand. Held by Fisher. Given across to Phillips. Phillips a shot. Fought off by Giguère. And he's able to cover. And players tumble to the ice in front of him.
Anything goes. Under a minute left to go. The shot by Chris Phillips. Chris Pronger just absolutely bear hugs Danny Heatley in front of the net. As he's falling down, he just tackles him. He just wrestles him down. He loses his balance, and as he's falling down, he looks to grab onto something. And it ends up being Danny Heatley. But with the goaltender out, the extra attacker on, good puck movement, puck to the net, people to the net. Timeout, Ottawa.
By this point in a season that has 98 games for one and 99 for the other, the guys who will be out for the end of this, defending for Anaheim and attacking for Ottawa, know pretty much what they're to do. It is a breather for them right now, and for Jean-Sébastien Giguère. Left circle offensive zone faceoff for Ottawa.
Coaching staff, Noel Brown, Randy Carlyle, Dave Farish going over. And again, video, scouts, your pre-scouts. You have an idea because the Ottawa Senators have had the opportunity to pull their goaltending, the formations they'd like to run. What happens when you win it? What happens when you lose it? So just to keep them aware of what might transpire off a faceoff.
Spezza and Paulson will go for it. Shane Heyer, the linesman, drops it. Dug out by Alfredson. Away from Heatley to Alfredson again, and then Heatley around behind. Fisher blocking and jamming at the front. It's fed back to the point. Corvo up with it. Flips one, and it's deflected. Scramble for it there, and we get a stoppage of play. And a hooking call has been assessed. It was pointed into a cluster of players. It's going to be on the Ducks. And it is none other than Pronger who will have to sit.
It was one of those 50-50 pucks. There was a loose puck off the face-off. Oh, that was Scott Niedermayer. That was Scott Niedermayer with the cross check. I didn't see any hook by Pronger. It doesn't matter. Power play here for the Senators.
Off the draw, spun along by Scott Niedermayer to a brother Rob. Played on out to center and re-grabbed now by Corbo with 33 to go. Joe Corbo ahead, hands on to Heatley. Heatley tried to get through and could not. Scott Niedermayer blocked his path. Across though to Alfredson it comes. He looks, he's got Heatley near the front, feeds to the outside to Corbo. Across for a drive, that went off someone high. Kept alive now by Redden and played along to Spezza once more. Spezza in the last 13. Waits and fires, and getting a piece of it, Giguère around behind Fisher, out in front, Bouchie shot, fought off by Giguère. Played along by Beauchemin. 5 seconds to go. It's not out yet. Still time for a shot. He'll have to hurry. Off of Fisher, and the Ducks have taken game 1.
Outstanding opportunity as time was coming off the clock. Daniel Alfredson in front of the net, the left part of your screen. The play by Mike Fisher, and what a glove save by J.S. Giguère. And the reaction by the Duck goaltender. A 3-2 win and a 1-0 lead in the series for the Anaheim Ducks.
32 shots on goal in the game for the Ducks. 20 for the Senators, and the last batch were pretty thrilling. Let's get you to Hockey Central, presented by Esurance, with Bill, Mark, Brian, and Keith.
Well, if you weren't a hockey fan and you tuned in to Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final, I'm just going to venture a guess that you're now hooked. It was Kreskin here that predicted an early goal by Anaheim in the third period. They scored less than 6 minutes in. I didn't get a chance to ask you, why did you think that was going to happen?
Because they've never changed it the way that they play. No matter if they take penalties or not, they continue to push forward. They believe in what their team has built upon, and that's hard work, desire, determination. When you play that way, good things happen to you. You saw what happened in the third period. They came out, they still played physical, and both of those goals, Brad May went to the net on the Getzlaf goal, and Travis Moen, great cycling down low. A phenomenal job by the Ducks, and that's why I said they would come back to score. I thought it might be 2 minutes into the period. I think it'd be 5. So that wasn't that good.
Their 60-minute plan for the game was really good. I don't think Ottawa's defense has been hit more by any team in any series than they have in that first period by the Ducks, and that's going to continue. You know it. You could tell at the beginning of the game, Ottawa came out, they had great jump, they had great legs, but then the road, the layoff, everything like that, they seized up in the second. The Ducks picked their spots and kept pounding away on them. The physical part of this series is definitely going to continue. This was an outstanding win, and Jonesy, I got to hand it to you, the Paulson line was much better than the #1 line of Ottawa, no doubt.
I agree completely. The Paulson line was unbelievable tonight. All night long, they dominated the game there. But more importantly, I think than anything, Getzlaf is really coming into his own right now. He's going to be a superstar in this league for a long time and a perfect playoff performer. You got to be strong in the middle. They were strong on the goal tonight there, right down through the center ice zone, and Getzlaf led the way in the third period.
It reminds me a lot of him. Getzlaf reminds me a lot of Mark Messier.
I will tell you now what I'm cheering for in this series. 7 games. That's all.
I hope so.
No more.
Like
I hope
this?
it is for you too.
Our Dodge goal of the game, speaking of the Paulson line, Niedermeyer to Travis Moen. That was the GWG. Our Dodge goal of the game. Back after this.
V-Stars from Star Motorcycles, and introducing the fuel-injected V-Star 1300. We build it, you make it your own, exclusively at your Yamaha dealer. Now get payments as low as $69 a month until 2009, plus up to $1,000 cash back.
Nothing brings people together like boating. Get started with your free DVD at discoverboating.com.
My passion is film.